Hey everybody, and welcome this week to Reanimal. This is a game made by the same people who made Little Nightmares 1 and 2, and plays kind of similarly to both of those games, but it also kind of does its own little thing that I enjoy too. This is in a world that's like post some kind of great flood and a disaster of some kind. And that we pull actually from the Steam page, so we don't have to worry about spoilers too much yet already. I'm going to be playing through the entire game. There is a bonus cutscene that you get on completion if you do these specific things, which I'm going to do. It's Find the Shadow Children. I'm not sure what it's called in the game, but that's what they look like to me, so that's what I'm going to call it. Anyway, we have a very short intro cutscene here. Reminds me a lot of the intro, I'm going to probably say this a bunch, so you'll have to forgive me, but of Little Nightmares with like the children's kind of like humming a little bit. There's 4 or 5 children looking down at us inside of a hole, and then we wake up on a boat out in the middle of nowhere. Not a bunch of context in this game. I kind of recommend, like, of course, I recommend watching all my videos a million times, just joking, but I recommend maybe, like, watching this video through and then maybe watching, like, the first 10 minutes of this video through, or a long play if you don't really like my commentary over it, because I feel like you get a little bit more on a second playthrough of this game. So we've got buoys out in the middle of the ocean, here where we are, and a boat, as I had already mentioned, which we can, it's going to be kind of our diligent companion throughout the game. I was thinking about this, I was like, you know, in a world with a great flood, I suppose a boat's really the thing to have, right? Out of everything that you could ever pick in a world that was flooded. And like I said, the flood is important for some endgame stuff that I don't think you would understand with the context in-game as it's given. So it's important for me to kind of emphasize this flood a little bit here. Hopefully I won't, my plan is to emphasize it early and late whenever we get to it. So anyway, we have some seagulls kind of squawking at something out here in the water. There are seagulls and pelicans, a pelican in this game, and I anticipate messing up the difference between the two animals at least once. This here is a little bit slow as we begin. Honestly, once our feet touch land, this game speeds up a lot, but the beginning is a little bit slow. I'm trying to think, there's like, a lot of this game takes place in the boat, and I would say like anytime that you're inside of the boat, it is kind of slow. Alright, so we have pulled a character from the water up into our boat. Excuse me, it kind of looks like a girl with a bunny mask on. Like Little Nightmares, this game likes hiding characters' faces and little kids, but not in the inappropriate way, just as protagonists. Alright, so we got attacked by the girl. It'd be kind of hard for me to want to keep her on the boat after being attacked by her. Oh, that's right, I also have subtitles on in this game, because there is dialogue, but there's maybe like, I don't know, 30 lines of dialogue in the game, so I'm just going to kind of talk over those cutscenes. The ambience does not really warrant me not speaking. I don't know. It's mostly ambience and then like a line of dialogue like every 15 minutes or so. 3 or 4 lines of dialogue every 15 minutes or so until we get to the end of the game. So the girl was asking where the rest of our friends are, and also you know, we told her that we thought she was dead, so kind of weird to say that. We've got, it kind of looks, I guess they're probably seagulls, right? But kind of looks like crows from this distance flying over top of the mountain there. I had already gunned the motor on this boat, so now all we have to do is wait for our camera to catch up here. It's kind of funny, this game, because there are a lot of times that I play it that I forget that I'm even playing a video game, and I start watching it like a movie. Like it's something on like a primal level in my brain. I'm like, okay, so cool, I just need to watch this part, and then I'm like, oh shit, yeah, this is a video game, I need to play it, and I die. That happens to me a couple of times. Anyway, we can, this was kind of meant to be like a co-op game. It is meant to be a co-op game, I'd say, sort of like how Little Nightmares 3 was. And so, in lieu of that, I'm playing by myself quite clearly. Nobody else has spoken yet. How sad would that be if I like, you sit there and shut up, I'm gonna play the game. I'm gonna talk into the mic. So we can control the looking around with the girl with the lantern on the front, and we control the boat and the steering as the boy on the back. And don't worry, we're very nearly out of the boat here after maybe about 5, almost 6 minutes. As we kind of come out of here, you'll notice that there's something floating in the water ahead of us. That, of course, is a sea mine. We'll want to avoid that so that we don't die. I'm sure we'll die to them later on, so don't feel too bad that we're avoiding them here and now. The first time that I played this game, I was like, is that a sea mine? I was like, well, I gotta run into it. I gotta see if it's a sea mine and if it kills you. And yep, even this early, it kills you. Should have got an achievement for that. This game is pretty achievement heavy. I think it's got about 33 of them, and I only unlocked like 6 or so throughout the story, so my sort of like initial feeling is that you don't get very many achievements from simply playing the game. You get a lot more from, I don't know, experience in the game, doing things that the game kind of anticipates you would do, like knock something into a pit, or, you know, knock out a certain number of enemies, or, you know, just random shit like that. Alright, so we are at, I believe it's called The Factory. I don't know if chapters have names in this, like Little Nightmares, like I played not too long ago. We go up to this door here at the factory, and it is locked. Then we've got a second door, which is locked over here. This is almost like a point-and-click little game a little bit, if you imagine that. We've got this briefcase, which is open, and we can open briefcases around the shore to hunt for this key. I find this hunt honestly kind of lame because, hey, if you played this game and you know better than I do, please tell me. But like, it's a process of like elimination to get to the briefcase that actually has the key in it. Like, there's no indicator on the outside of it, which I thought was kind of lame. Like, how am I supposed to know which one has the key in it, right? Alright, so we're on a beach here. We're going to leave our boat behind while we investigate the factory. You know, I don't really know what we're kind of doing, even though I understand the story at large. Like, I don't understand, like, why we're bothering to kind of regroup and get together. I like this world as a post-apocalyptic world. Like, there's some post-apocalyptic worlds that I do and don't like. Case in point, I really like World War Z's apocalypse a lot, like, as it unfolds. I guess that's not post-apocalyptic. Oh, The Road. The Road is another one that I like a lot. So, if you can hear me over the fan, we can turn... I'm just kidding. We can flip the switch here to turn the fan off. And this is a timed segment, so you want to run as quickly as you can to the other side. Hopefully that me being loud there didn't fuck up with the audio or whatever. The AI does act a little weird here because I think it half anticipates that you won't get through it quick enough, and there's a switch on the other side. So I think kind of what you're supposed to do is like fuck that up a little bit and then have your partner go and operate the switch for you, and then there's a switch on the other side to pause the fan temporarily. Besides, I don't know. We might see what this factory makes, actually, now that I'm thinking of it, but I'm not so certain that this factory actually makes what I think it does. The reason I say all that is, why is there a big-ass fan underneath of this factory? There is a character who shuts a door. Taller character, looks more like an adult. You know, whenever I first played this game, I was like, whew, thank goodness, finally an adult in this world. But you'll come quickly to find that, well... most people are enemies, include all adults, most children. How about that? I think that gives us a good indicator. I don't really understand these moments where you, like, because I figured, like, okay, I'll either help them up and then they'll do, like, a puzzle or, like, you know, something. They'll do something up here. I didn't realize it was going to be so easy as, like, them helping. I help them up and then they help me up. Every time I've ever done that, I've been like, oh, well, that's convenient, I guess. So, in this game, it takes advantage a lot of, like, what you can and can't see. Like, your first inclination there is probably just to continue on forward on that catwalk, but if you come through that door and then through this hole in the wall, you can come in here and there's, like, a collectible hat. I'm going to be wearing whichever collectible hat I get most recently, until maybe I get the Army Man helmet, because I like that one a lot. But there is a mine down there. It's kind of cool. I was talking about... a while back, well, not a while back, I guess this is the last playthrough that I recorded anyway, in Little Nightmares 3, the secrets in that game that you had to collect aren't nearly as interesting as the way that Inside does them, another game that kind of was like a prelude to all this, not in terms of story, but in terms of game design. And I like the way that Inside did it, because every time you found a secret, it, like, gave you a portion of the world's story, like, even if it wasn't Like, it wasn't like, this is General John, and he, like, fought the good fight for many years. It's as simple as, like, that there, it's like a mine. It's like a cool mine that's out of the way, and it doesn't do anything, but it's like a mine that's stored away. And there's going to be a lot of those little, like, story segments that we run into. So, the kid there just asked why we came back. So, apparently we know him, and he knows us, and we are all together. I think that's a Beatles song. Pretty sure. So we are in a room where we can turn on the power to get things in the factory sort of fired up, not withholding lights. So now we can see in this room a little bit better. You can mess with this computer to show a few different screens. There's no chance you're going to be able to see anything very well here, but this is like 5 rabbits all around a smaller rabbit. Like I said, sorry, you're not going to be able to see it. There's nothing I can do about it. And then there's like this red triangle thing that shows up a couple times throughout the game. I'm sure I got recommended a video that tells the story of this game, but I don't want to spoil it for myself. I kind of want to make my own, maybe like stabs in the dark about this story, and then maybe I'll watch it. I don't know. I don't really care about the story of this game. That's not to say that it's bad. I just kind of like whatever my interpretation of it is, like, well enough that I wouldn't want to be like, I don't know, spoiled by it. That's kind of a lame way to look at it, but that's the way I feel. So maybe I'll watch the video on it after I play this game, but I have my own kind of feeling about what the story is about and stuff. And I haven't really even had much occasion to show. So we have this big, like, rotating pipe, and we can freeze it, and then we can also instruct our partner with LB, I'm playing on an Xbox controller, to pause it for us. So this is how most of the puzzles in this game kind of work, is like, generally it's, you know, you do one thing to let the other person through, and then they from the other side do something to let you through. What I was talking about earlier, and we'll get a much better look at it in this next room, we're able to actually see our hat. I want to show off our new hat a little bit, because it kind of looks like maybe a chicken or a bird or something. I like the look of it. I'm glad that they clearly kept like the art design of Little Nightmares, even if I'm sure they couldn't keep things like the story and stuff, which I don't know if we would ever see another Reanimal story. Oh, there's a skin that fell out of that one. Gross. We're going to come up on many of those skins, and they remind me a lot of snake skins, not only in the way that they look, but the way that future ones act. And that's a little tidbit, a little spoiler for what we have upcoming. I also thought it was, I like that the game trains you a little bit. Like, I wouldn't consider this like my anime training arc necessarily, but I like how the game trains you a little bit in the basic platforming of the game before you encounter any real enemies. Like, I could have died a couple times, don't get me wrong. Like, I could have died maybe if I fell into the pits or, like, missed some jumps. I'm trying to think how else. I could have hit the mines, I guess, if I was being particularly dumb. Well, I was particularly dumb, because I did die to it. Also, we have that kid who is now running away from us again. The girl here also turned on her light. I can't remember. I think we're going to get context for it sooner or later, but I believe the character that we play as and this girl are brother and sister. We have that tall man with a briefcase who's walking this direction. In this game, there's also like a lot of points throughout the story that you can like sit down in chairs and stuff. I'm gonna tip this guy out of here. That would be another achievement. You can sit down in chairs and stuff, and you get rewarded with a achievement if you sit down in enough chairs. I think there's 9 in total in the game, maybe a little bit more. All right, so we took a poster off of the wall that's concept art. We'll have a better look at posters and stuff. I'm not going to show off. I probably won't even show off 10% of the collectibles, honestly. But I just want you to kind of be aware of what they are and maybe show them off a little bit. So to my right, I'm not going to have the volume up very loud because this game is already going to be kind of loud and quiet, and I don't want to mess with that too much. But we heard creaking from this door. Before we go in there, the doors with lights over them are important. The doors without lights are not important. But that's not to say that there's nothing inside of them, like this one, for example, where we can head inside and find another collectible. This time is a new hat. And it was like I was saying, maybe this factory makes bombs. There's a lot of bombs in here, like shells or whatever. I don't know what this hat is or what it's supposed to be. Kind of looks like the Onion Man's hat from the Dark Souls games. Anyway, time to leave. We came for our collectible. We got it. Like I said, every little kind of out of the way area is like, it doesn't tell like a loving story. It doesn't tell like a coherent story, but it tells like a small story about the world. And I really like that about this game. In contrast to like I was saying about like at least Little Nightmares 3. Oh, nice. That is my least, well, I don't know if it's my least hated sound in the whole world. Also kind of don't like babies crying. Oh, and he's crawling in there. A hand dryer is what I was going to say. So that man crawls into the chest of a larger man, and we now have a plunger. This is something that was shown in like a lot of the trailers for this game, was you like pulling a character with a plunger out of a toilet. I'm not super certain of the context of this. Again, like there's not like words that kind of give you hints or anything, and it wasn't like that guy like I flushed the toilet, and then like you're like, okay, yeah, that's where I need to go. Is I need to mess with the toilet. The game, a couple games that have some disgusting keys and toilet mechanics. This would be one of them. We didn't even wash our hands. How gross is that? Silent Hill. Silent Hill 3, I think, the one that has Heather Mason, and then. I played Mad Father, which also had like a pulling a key out of a toilet segment. So a lot more of those skinned creatures around. I think the big enemy of this area is called the Skinner. If I'm remembering correctly. We've also got more of those skins around all throughout the area here. Again, remind me a lot of snake skins. Okay, so here's another wheel that we'll need to put on the cart of ours to leave or whatever. It's like the push cart. What do they call it? Trolley? I don't know what those are called. I can't think of. Anyway, so these things like kind of crawl like snakes around and stuff to get to you and kill you. From this side, I thought about taunting, but there are 2 more snakes that come up on this side, so no taunting for us. Alrighty, thank you very much for holding the door for me. This thing, these are called push carts, aren't they? Anyway, so we can hop up on these trolleys and then operate them to leave. I'd mentioned this during Little Nightmares 3. I'm going to try my best not to just compare the two because, of course, this is its own game. But I mentioned a lot in Little Nightmares 3, like if I didn't know what to do, 99% of the time the AI knew what to do and I could just kind of follow them around. And they could almost like beat the game for me. And that's the way I sort of feel about this, like especially... Well, I'll show you a fight scene coming up where the AI pretty much, it didn't carry me through it, but I had no idea what I was meant to be doing. All right, so I'm going to slow this to a halt, and then I'm going to drop it, because this is the first of the 5 shadow children that we need. Most tutorial videos on this don't show you exactly where this is, like how to get to it, and I kind of don't blame them, because it's a little bit out of the way, I guess, for a tutorial video. But it is over here, and this is what the shadow children are. They're on these boxes, in these boxes that have like numbers on them. I can't get the camera in anymore, and it's not gonna. You're not gonna be able to see it very well. Sorry, but it has children throughout the game that we'll see that are like shadow versions of themselves, and they all die in different ways. Like that one there seems to have died from a firing squad. I try not to read too much into the story for like the shadow children. That's the part of the story that I really don't understand, which is kind of funny because it's probably like the parts of the story that I actually understand are probably not that important, right? Well, they're important to the overarching thing, but it's not something that like your average viewer, like someone who plays your games, your average player wouldn't understand themselves. But anyway, we'll continue this pushcart to down the way and be done with this. I think that we're coming up on the end of chapter 1. I think this game has about 8 chapters or so, 5 shadow children, and we get most of them by chapter, the end of chapter 3, I guess. Alright, so our pushcart hits the end, and we've got another boost segment here where I boost the girl up and then she pulls me up. Let me ask you guys a question. And I've been kind of curious. So you see where she's at with like her arms kind of like side to other side. So in my life, I've always been kind of bigger, right? I'm like 6'1". I'm like, well, at this point, I'm probably about like 250 pounds, maybe a little bit less. So like, even though I've been like more svelte in my life, like I've always been generally about that size, right? And I was wondering about this. do you guys think you can pull yourselves up from like a loose position like that? Even as like a little kid, like I can remember pulling myself up. I had bunk beds growing up, and I remember pulling myself up onto the bunk bed that way. But I just think about it, like even as like a teenager and stuff, I was like, damn, but there was like a certain point where I just couldn't do chin-ups anymore. I could go in and I could bench press like, I don't know, 250 pounds. That's a little much. Maybe like 175, 200 pounds. But I loaded like a lot of wood and stuff at the time, cut and loaded a lot of wood, but I don't know. I'm trying not to talk about other bullshit too much, but do you guys think you could do like a full, like pull up yourself from like full arms down and then pull yourself up onto a ledge? I don't think I could. So now I'll talk about the elephant in the room. We have a giant enemy here, or a tall enemy. He grabs after this kid, which we've been following a little bit, and then we want to follow him on his way out of here. Whoa, easy. I actually might have followed him a little too quickly there. Whew. I'm going to hide behind these luggage carts. Yeah, and you want to sneak. This game has 3 different volumes for your character in terms of walking. It has sneaking, it has walking, and it has running. All right, so I'm going to... Yep, hop up in here, and we have made it inside. Nice. She, like, closes the door, and then you can see his face pressed up against it. How creepy. It's funny. We've got, like, this dead end here. Every time I've ever played this game so far, I've almost fell out the side. Anyway, there is a truck there. Kind of looks like, well, I'm not so certain. It's at least got some kind of a dumb thing on top of it that's like, like Dale Gribble on King of the Hill, how he has a dead roach on the top of his truck. All right, so we release the brakes on this train, and then it's time for us to go. As we leave, that guy comes and breaks through the front of the train, and I believe that kid is also here. I keep losing track of which one's me exactly, and he closes the door behind us. You know, it was at this point in the game, I was like, I don't really care for this kid, like the third one that we're running around with. I don't have a problem with him. I don't hate him, but like, I don't really care for him either. Like, so far, all he's done is just kind of like be pissy towards us a little bit. Like, he's not mean or anything, but he's like, what are you doing back here? Leave me alone and stuff, which I can't pretend like I've never acted either of those ways in my life before. But I was like, yeah, he's a whatever. But then he like caught me at this point, and I was like, oh shit, if it wasn't for him, I would be dead right now. I guess he's cool. So you can see on his, he's got like a little, like a pointy hat. This is similar to the one that, the shadow child that we had that died by the firing squad. I don't know, but he just says that he told us to leave, and we can continue on. I don't know exactly when Chapter 2 starts. We might still even be in Chapter 1. I'm sure I have timestamps kind of labeling the video below us, so it is extremely dark. I can't really see much. There we go. At least I can see my character if I turn my little, it's like a lighter on. We had like lighters and lanterns and flashlights and stuff and all the Little Nightmares games. I really only use it in this one, not necessarily to light the way. Oh, nice. We've got more snakeskin people around. So it doesn't affect our companions so much to step on them. But like if we are near those snakeskin characters, they will grab us and kill us. I haven't died to one yet, so I actually don't know what the death screen looks like if you get grabbed by one. But every day's a new day, and we have these guys as enemies for a little while. So I don't know. If we see it, we see it. So this area here, you got to kind of like loop the snakeskin guys over too, and then you can go up the path where these guys just were. I don't know. This is cool. There was no part in this game where I was like, I felt like the game was like too hard or anything. And again, it's like you're playing dynamically, like basically a cutscene. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got so lost in this game a lot of the times, was because, not like lost in terms of where I am, but like lost in terms of who I am, is because, you know, you can see as you're playing. Like I get lost because I'm like watching it as a movie. And again, that's probably just a sign of being completely brain rotted in 2026. But anyway, we have one of these like big like log saws, and there's like an ice cream song playing in the background. It's funny. I was curious about. I thought I remembered a long time ago somebody telling me that the ice cream truck song. was in the public domain, and it is. And then I looked up this video of two women playing it on I can't remember if it was like a fiddle or a violin, probably a fiddle, honestly, because they were playing it kind of quick. Wow, this forest is full of skins, of snake skins. That's just what it kind of reminds me of, snake skins. So I'm going to turn my light off because I see a car's light. Not that it actually affects anything, but I've done it, so far just about every time that I've played some. Anyway, the ice cream truck is, I think, pulled to a stop, and the music has also stopped on it. So, we gotta, there it is. We can see it up there. Yeah, I know you probably can't see it very well, but it says ice cream on the top of the hood there. So, I start to go towards it. I wake it up, and then it will come towards us. These are some of my favorite scenes in video games, are when something is chasing you like this. Like, I'm thinking, Crash Bandicoot, honestly, in particular. I can't think of another game that does it, even though, like, I'm sure I'd be like, oh, yeah. Like, if you mentioned it to me, I'd be like, oh, yeah, of course, that's the game I'm thinking of. There I get thinking I was another character again. I tripped over a branch there, too. So we are running, and then the truck gets kind of close, and then whips around, and we hide underneath this lip here. And the newest boy in our crew, our kid in our crew, is offered ice cream by this guy. It was my thought at this point. I'm like, well, if you're probably going to die anyway, you might as well take the fucking ice cream. Am I right? I mean, he's offering it, so fuck it. All right, so he grabs that kid. I almost said us. He grabs that kid and then tears ass off through the woods. And that is that. Companion gained and companion lost. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I was thinking, like, hey, if you got to live out the apocalypse anywhere, might as well be in this fucking trailer out in the woods, huh? There's a concept art on the side there that I just unlocked. I don't really care for concept art, but at least they made a collectibles in this game where it's like the least bit more entertaining than nothing. You know what I'm saying? So the ice cream song is playing off into the distance again. How nice. This car here is in park, and we can open the door and then unengage the parking brake and let it go. And, I don't know what I was doing there. It was almost like I got ran over by it. Was not controlling my character there. Yes, this is Chapter 2. This is called the Forest Town, I think. It reminds me a lot, if you guys ever played the Dead Rising Telltale games. It reminds me a lot of, I think it's Macon, Georgia. It's wherever you go and you get locked in the pharmacy. I can't remember what that place was called, but it's where Lee Everett's parents live. I don't know. It's just kind of what it reminded me of a little bit. Like, still like, what do they call it? Suburban? Like, half, like obviously all urban, but like out in the middle of the woods here. We're working our way towards those neon signs that neon sign on the other end of the city. There's also the ice cream truck, which you probably won't be able to see quite yet. All right, crawl in here, please. This is some kind of a clothing shop. We can crawl into this hole back here and get another hat. In this room, there's like the head of a pig. I don't super get it. I don't think there's anything really to get. It's just kind of more like, the world. There are pictures of the head in this black room, which I thought was kind of weird. I don't know many people who, like, I kind of consider it one or the other, right? Like, you're probably either going to, like, kill pigs back there, and I don't really even have an explanation for why I think that, but, like, you would either kill pigs back there or you would develop pictures back there. I couldn't really see why you would want to do both, but shrug emoji, who cares? So I guess I can show off our dilemma here in the forest town. We can't exit this because there is big chains on that gate. And over here, we have the ice cream truck. And behind us, you can see that tall man and the little boy. I thought this was kind of interesting. He's a very one in the hand, two in the bush type of character. He could not give a fuck less about this car starting up. He's like, okay, I'm going to just get rid of the one boy I got here, or mess with him, or whatever he's going to do with him. So we could like interact with the gas tank here, and our character shakes because it's completely out of gas, and we don't have gas to give it. I guess we might as well go in the cinema and also see what our trouble is in here, because we can't progress into here yet necessarily. There we go. I always get the light and the call partner button mixed up. All right, so we have another like a bolt lock that we aren't going to be able to get through. Excuse me. So we're going to have to go get something to remedy that. Luckily enough, this game kind of confused me a little bit at first, being as kind of big as it is. It's not big. It's just in that there is like, it's almost like I'm having an argument with myself, but trust me, it's not big. It's just that fucking, I don't know, it's all an environment that I'm not used to, and I'm used to something like Little Nightmares, like just kind of hand holding you to the direct direction that you belong. There's another character here. It's another tall man with, kind of similar clothes as the other guy, but that's not me like foreshadowing or anything. That's just kind of reality. It also looks like there's maybe a pig in that briefcase. I'm not able to tell quite right. Might also just be one of those tricks that your eyes kind of do on you. There's another boarded door back there. We've got bolt cutters now, though. We can't use them on the big door to leave, because even if we could, the ice cream truck's out of gas. So, but we can use it on the door here in the cinema to continue on through it. Here I think we can find a like the movie that the cinema is playing. I'm pretty certain is like, I don't know, it's supposed to tell like the story of these kids a little bit more, like, because there's like, you know, five like rabbits. I don't know. I'll maybe just kind of like go over it like briefly. It also flashes like really quickly at points. We don't have to worry about this guy grabbing us. So there is a well, you can't really see very well from back here, can you? Maybe I'll wait, because it does like a depth of field blur thing. I'll go up there and then maybe show it off. So he's dragging something out of this room. So I guess it looks like food, and then there's like one rabbit in the middle. Then there are 4 people looking down a hole. The 4 rabbits kind of surround the one rabbit. There are grubs eating an apple and the cutting off of a lamb. Looks like just kind of like gross like animals and stuff, almost just like animal mutilation. And then there's like a body on the shore that is washed up, and there is like waves kind of crashing into it. And then I believe that this restarts the process. Yep, there are 5 rabbits, and then we'll just wait until we can see the food. Yeah, this is the part where the food slowly pulls out or whatever. And then like water on the plate kind of grows up around the food. Not grows up, but like fills the plate around the food. Again, another, like I said, maybe what would be best for you is to just watch this video through 1 or 2 times. I sort of feel like the story is on the face a little bit, maybe. Oh, this door is locked, so we'll have to go through this hole in the wall where the men can see it all. Am I going to make that joke every Little Nightmares-esque game that I play? Maybe. So this room doesn't really have anything in it besides a couple of big men with holes in their stomachs. And we got to be vigilant of this door because it rings, which was something that I felt even as I came through here the first time before it becomes a problem. Because I was like, damn, you know, like if it's ringing already, that's only trouble for me. There's a lot of skins all around this apartment complex. Oh yeah, that's right. That door is locked. So we're going to have to move this trash can here over to the side so that we can make it in here. This room is our first real taste of danger with a consistent enemy. Anyway, inside of here, we've got like washers and dryers that run, and then he's ironing. It seems like more of these skins around. So you want to stay like crouched for this entire segment. If you're very fast, even though the washers and dryers are kind of loud, they won't mask your walking. This area is extremely forgiving by my estimation. He's got like 3 kind of phases. He's got like this, which is like the docile, not looking around or at anything phase. And then I'll show off what he looks like in like a medium phase. So that's like a medium phase, right? And then he's going to probably come down and like, so this is like phase 2. And then like we've got like an angry phase. You can hide in the washers and dryers whenever he like does this. So even though like you fucked up by doing that, right? By being outside of the washer or by like walking around while the washers and dryers aren't running. It's not like the end of the world penalizing or anything. Like you don't lose. You still have an opportunity to recover it. And again, we're just going to pause while we wait for the washers and dryers to fire up. I like this here a little bit. Like the guy is never like wholesale blind or deaf, but he has brief bouts of, well, at least deafness. All right, so we move the girl through. So this next area is it has washers and dryers running constantly, but we have a different kind of challenge here. There are fat men hung up, like strung up around here, and some of them are in different forms of like shrinkage and shit like that. Like some of them are thinner than other ones. So we got an idea of the process. He collects like these fat guys, and I think maybe just kind of like lets the bodies dehydrate, and then once they've dehydrated. So we want to get around to the other side of this bathtub here, because he does like this weird sort of pacing left to right thing. And then that is honestly it. So he like collects these guys and then like lets them, their bodies dehydrate. I guess maybe like debloods them. What do they call that? I don't know. That just lets the blood and the liquid and the hydration fall out of them, and then he irons them and then just hangs them up around. I believe his name in the game is called the Skinner. I think I maybe already mentioned that before. Okay, so this is where our compatriot, the little boy, is, or the other little boy. That man is messing with some shit in the background there, and we've got a crowbar here that we can grab. So there is one of those big men, not only that we're pulling the crowbar out of, but also standing behind us. I thought that maybe they would say anything or like do anything at this point in the game. And it's good for us that they don't, because they're all feral, but I don't know if that's a spoiler, but it's a good thing that there's a gate between him and I, is all I'll say. He looks like a particular kind of soy jack that I won't mention the name of because it's a very crass soy jack, but he looks a lot like one. I'm not big into the soy jack culture, but I did think that one looked particularly goofy, and that's what these guys kind of look like. Down this way, you can kind of see like the rooms that he was messing with and stuff, like not really well or anything, but you can see there's like, so again, this is just confirming what we already know, is like he captures these fat men and then works on them slowly. This door is locked. I think we can, no. Oh yeah, we can sit on this toilet here. As one of the sitting places. I saw our partner do that the last time that I played. So as we leave here, I don't think we have to be quiet at all. So that's good. Anyway, so we can get out of here kind of in record time compared to coming in, how slowly and quietly we had to be. And then we've got another big door that we can crawl through. Yeah, it was funny the first time I was playing because I was like sneaking through. I was like, okay, he's going to be around any corner. I got to be careful. And then, of course, you know, you can't see him anywhere like in these 3 rooms where he was before. We can get a better look. I do kind of want to show this off a little bit. Not like super or anything, but you can see this is like a pile of like, I don't know, maybe even clothes or burlap sacks, and then he's got the skinned people on here where he was ironing. So, again, just to confirm that that is what he was doing, was ironing these bodies. I don't know why he was doing it. That don't make a ton of sense to me, but who cares? I'm getting a little bit fucked here on the camera, it seems. There we are. I think maybe our partners are too. No, they're coming up. Again, the only person you really have to worry about is yourself in terms of, like, you know, being in the correct place. Like, the guy won't aggro off your partners, so that's good. He moves this trash can over to the side here. I don't know if there's meant to be, like, a lot more to this sort of segment here, but I find what you can do is just, like, as he goes and fucks around with that trash can back there, so he's probably got trash cans that are just filled with these snake skin people. We can walk now. We've got enough distance away from him. And then, as I said before, this like little bell that's on the door will trigger as we go through it. So we hear him getting angry behind us, and we like hold the door. But look in the background at one of the bloated guys near the table. It starts to move, and out comes the monster man. This isn't hard. I would consider this pretty easy, actually. But he's going to look under parts of the table. And you want to not be anywhere near those parts whenever he looks under them. And if you're able to do that, you win. So we'll go to this other side. And there he is again looking at that part of the table. I sort of figured, like, if he looks down, you know, if you consider this horizontal, like left to right, if he looked down like vertically, like straight down end to end of this table, oh my god, would we be screwed. But thankfully he's too primal and dumb to think of that. Alright, so then he crawls in this other fat man that's in the back, and we're squared away. We don't have to worry about him in this room anymore. Alright, so we use our new crowbar on this door, which has been boarded up. The little hole that we had before on the side has now been knocked over by has been boarded up by, well, I guess boards. I thought for sure you would have to like hide in this thing, like a little nightmare sequence, but I couldn't, I don't know if there's maybe you can like run out here. I really don't know what you're supposed to do with that. But in this next room, I'm trying to get in the door. It's just the movie playing again the same way as it did before. And then the whole time we have like that character, the tall man, the Skinner, like walking in front of the projector. But you don't have to worry. We don't like get accosted by him or anything. We don't have to fight him. You can sit on that toilet there in the bottom left. So if you're looking for the achievement, you're at this point. There's other stuff you can sit on too, like children's rides. I haven't mentioned actually a lot of them. Probably a bunch of the chairs that we've been near. But at this point, I think you need 9 for the achievement. So you would be like at least 1/3 of the way there, just sitting where I had the potential to sit already. So there was a little character that ran by, kind of looked like a gnome a little bit. Oh, and here comes this guy. At this point, I was like, this is kind of ridiculous a little bit. Like, he's riding a fucking tricycle towards us. Like, I just laughed. I'm like, it hasn't like killed the mood for me. It's not like, there was like a dance number or anything, and it was like dance break and big like colorful letters on the screen. Not like a whole juxtaposition like that, but like he's just so fucking ridiculous, this character at points. It almost reminds me of like a character that like is like a serious bounty hunter in a movie, and then like he has like 2 or 3 times. It's like Dr. Doofenshmirtz the first time you see him. You like know him to be like a villain, and then he's like, "Oh, excuse me, I have to make a call. Do you mind sitting down?" And then you're like, "Okay," and then you sit down, and then he like hits a button and it locks you into the chair or whatever. So this is a petrol station. We've got to fill up our tank or little gas can with gas here, so that we can fill up that car and get out of here. But in the background, you can see there are snake skins, just tons and tons of snake skins around. In fact, the third boy kind of fucked off, and the tall man comes out of that bigger, fatter body, and we're chased. We got another chase sequence beginning while we're being chased by lots of snakeskin folk and the Thin Man, or I'm thinking of the Thin Man. I think from Little Nightmares 2 is why I keep mentioning it. So since we got the gas can, we're gonna fill up the car, and the other 2 are gonna go ahead and get inside of it. And we'll get in the door and hopefully start this bad son of a bitch, because we've got a lot of snakes behind us. This does have traditional driving controls: RT to accelerate, left stick to steer. And yeah, that's it. We did good. Congratulations, us. It's got like a little ice cream on the roof of it or whatever. This car does. So it is an ice cream truck. If you didn't believe me before, you have to now that it's got the ice cream on top. I don't know. I think this game is cool. I like this game a lot. I wish that there were more games like Inside and like Reanimal and like all the Little Nightmares and stuff. But to be fair, like there's enough that I've just played alone on the channel, and there's ones that I haven't played for the channel that I believe we lost control right there, and then we hit this guy, the trapper or the Skinner. Sorry, thinking of fucking Dead by Daylight. Anyway, it was my strategy here to just stay low, and the AI kind of like carried me a little bit here. Like, it didn't wholesale carry me, but like it got some hits in whenever I was like, I don't know, I was like, damn, I figured I would get grabbed. But he just does like a swiping motion, and as long as your head is down, you'll be fine. And that's it. I kind of like the look of this place, especially for a boss fight. Like, this is a really good dynamic boss fight. I'm gonna stay down again, and then we'll hit him. Hopefully, oh, yep, he's in this like final section. This is a death thrall. We just beat the shit out of him. It looks like he might have got a hit on the little girl or something because she can't move. But yeah, that is the end of the Skinner. And the end of chapter 2, I'm pretty certain. We fall into like a huge ravine or whatever, and we've got all dark. It's very quiet, and a furtherance of kind of this cutscene is going on where we can look up and into a sky, and there's no people up there, but then there's a lamb that's at the bottom of this big hole, both going this direction and upwards, clearly. So it is starting to move, though, so that's kind of problematic. It looks creepy, to say the least, and that is that. We're going to see that a lot throughout this game, that lamb. The little girl is coughing, and it looks like she has a knife. And then I pull the other boy out of the wreckage, and that has been chapter 2 completed. It was at this point I was like, I am not where I think I am I? And then I was like, son of a bitch, I have not moved more than the first fucking 5 minutes of this game. But this time, in contrast to the last time, we have a crowbar that we can use to open this gate that was before locked. I guess we break the lock. And yeah, we can continue on the factory. And don't worry, we're almost completely done here at the factory, thank God, because I don't want to be here any more than you guys do. Trust me. Yeah, I was really embittered the first time whenever I was on that beach again. I was like, son of a bitch. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Lost before, the TV show, but I'm pretty certain that there's even a moment in Lost where like they spend like 5 seasons like trying to get off of the island. Like this is the point at which it comes up. There's like 5 seasons where they're trying to get off the island, and they finally get off, and then it's like 3 episodes later they're back on the island, and he's like, fuck, man. He's like, we just got off this shit. I really didn't like, I love Lost. I really didn't care for all the like time skip and stuff. Although I feel like it's much more palatable now that like you can kind of look back on the story and shit and like kind of understand what was going on. Like in real time, I'm sure watching that shit really sucked Lost, but I love Lost. I love the show. I wasn't old enough to watch it in real time at the time, so did not catch my interest. I watched a lot as a teenager. Alright, so here you have to kind of evenly distribute these 2 jumps that you see on this pathway that you got going on. I actually have there are 5 books. The first book does season 1 and 2, but there is a story dissection thing, like a series of books, like all 6 of them, and they really break this motherfucker down. They'll be like all the Easter eggs in episode 1, and it's like 25 pages. Now, granted, it also like whoa, easy there. It's these jumps, man, I'm telling you. They're a little precarious at points. No, that fucking book, like, granted, it is a description of the episode as a whole, so it's also like the Wikipedia entry for the episode, but it has a lot of fucking details in it for all the show. Now, I am probably going to have to fucking rewatch it, because I've really enjoyed Lost. I actually want to play the Lost game for the channel, because they had a game called Lost Via Deimos, D-O-M-U-S, Lost Via Deimos. Maybe it's E-S. I can't remember. I think it's D-O-M-U-S. But I really liked it a lot in conjunction with what was the story of the original Lost. Like, you play as like a new character, and you can interact with... They had like basically like these bunkers on islands. But I'm getting... This isn't... We're not playing Lost right now. We're playing Reanimal, so... I should talk about it. Now, to be fair, there wasn't really much going on in the way there, so, in the way of, like, what we were doing. This kind of looks like about, like, a half highway, half kind of dam a little bit. It does make you wonder, though, like, the kind of, I don't know. So if we just opened the dam, and now we're, like, in water, right? And there's also, like, highway around, like, was... Wait, do you get what I'm trying to say? Maybe it's not coming out quite right. So, is it like that the water flooding has like even reached up to this point, and that was maybe like a civilian checkpoint, not so much like a dam that was even contained there? I don't know. Weird. Anyway, we are coming up on... It kind of looks like a superstore a little bit. This is another game where like the text in the world is... It kind of looks like on all the signs and stuff around. You're probably not going to be able to see it very well. I've got it in full screen and I can't really see it. But it looks like a weird mix between like Chinese, Japanese, like gibberish and German, or maybe not German. I don't know. It's a bunch of different random languages. But all around, there are those fat characters. These ones are alive, though. I'm trying not to stay too near to them. And up ahead, coming out of a vent, we can see a whole group of them get dropped down into the water. And they are enemies, so they are going to try to kill us. If you're worried that we didn't get a good look at them there, don't worry, because we're going to be seeing them throughout a lot of this game. So there are some of the ocean mines all around. Whoa, easy. I don't know what the hell happened there. Nice little whiplash from the game. No, we're looking for like a little place that we can land. Alright, so we go through this building. It falls behind us. And this is where we can shore our boat. And there's stuff to kind of loot here a little bit. It was funny to me. Well, we get really lucky in that pretty much everywhere we go, there's exactly what we need to continue forward. Sure, and plot relevance and armor and all that. But, I mean, our luck is through the roof that things are exactly where they need to be for us. All right, so we are going to boost our friend up there, and she'll help us up in return. It's funny because this next area really doesn't have much in it. I don't know. It's cool enough, though, I suppose. We're also going to be getting our second Shadow Child here very soon, followed up quickly by the third Shadow Child. So in this room, we have harpoons on this guy's kind of corpse. It looks like he's filled with harpoons, too, which makes you just shrug. I don't I don't know. He's got harpoons, and he has harpoons in him, and they're in his back, so they aren't like through the front of his head, implying some kind of suicide or something. I don't know. Weird. Anyway, leaving this area. Maybe he was like in a harpoon fight with somebody and lost. You know, you've been a kid before with the harpoon fights. I think we can put this in the boat, as Stephen Brule says. All right, then we hop inside of it, and now we have a new sort of thing we can do in the boat as we drive around and stuff. And that is throw harpoons. They are endless. Let's go ahead and just equip them. I don't see a reason not to just have them equipped all the time. We can throw them, and they will land, like, whenever they hit stuff, it's like, well, obviously that was like a mine. Then up here we have like an enemy, one of those bloated water-type enemies. Water type, like this is Pokemon. You know what I'm saying. They're in the water and they're bloated. This area here is actually a little bit annoying. I hate how far back this enemy spawns. Well, how close it takes you to get to him to spawn, because you have to like hit him really closely. So earlier there were these mines down a way. This is kind of off to the side. We're aiming for that area that was to our left back there that said hotel. This, though, is where we get the second Shadow Child at. It's kind of weird, this area. It's like kind of like a checkpoint, but also like an... I don't want to, like... I'm not, like, bringing levity to the situation or anything, but honestly, it kind of, like, looks like Auschwitz a little bit. Like, it's got, like, a checkpoint at the front of it. Maybe hear me out. It's got a checkpoint. It's got bars. It's got, like, an imposing red interior. Not that it does. I think you get what I'm saying. And then it's got, like, caskets around and stuff. Maybe it's what it kind of looks like to me. And then inside of here, we've got a thing with the number 4 or 4 dashes etched on it, and a character with the burlap sack on their head. I don't know if that's us. I'm not so certain. But they get hanged, and you can see underneath of us, there's the rope. I think our character looks particularly sad there. I might take off my mask just so I can... yeah, it looks like I have like a burlap sack, and then we've got like a rope around it too, which you can see a little bit in, like you see on the left there, our character icon, you can see we've got like a rope on underneath of it. So that was probably us, I would guess. I don't understand like the significance of the deaths of the characters. We might talk about it a little bit at the end, but that feels like the least important part of the story to me. So we do have 2 out of 5 of the Shadow Children now. Thankfully, luckily, maybe, that is, like, the other ones do kind of, like, these 2 and 3 at least come very quickly back to back. 4 is in a little bit, and then 5 is also in a little bit. The camera, like, tries to naturally like put it on the screen. It almost feels like of this screen, but at the same time, like it doesn't actually show anything, so I don't really get the point of it. I don't know. It felt like it was trying to show me something the first time that I ever played this game, but anyway, this, I didn't really talk about this too much, but you need, as this character, to be facing where you want to throw the harpoons at. So like, I should have showed it off there, I guess. So this is the area that we're going, is the hotel. Whoa, that looks sick rolling through that while it was on fire. We're just kind of not really, but we're like kind of anarch kids. Like, you know, everywhere that we go gets kind of destroyed. But to be fair, there's mostly enemies around and shit too. So, we're just blowing shit up and making our way through the world. Okay, so you see, okay, my boat's full stop. So like if I look away from this guy, I don't have like a reticule to throw at him or anything. So the game, you have to aim and like navigate your boat at the same time. And we've got another character running above us, another one of the like children. Oh, see, she just looked back. I didn't touch that on my controller, I promise you. So I don't know. It's testy, to say the least. So we have bodies that are falling out of this elevator up ahead. There is one that is bloated. Even though it sort of seemed like there were a shit ton of enemies in there, there's only the one that we have to deal with out of there anyway. Alright, so then we've got another enemy that's like trying to creep to our left a little bit. There we go. Nice, we just got him right in the nick of time. I was worried there that it wasn't going to consider that like me hitting him. We've got another one of these guys who's falling out of a bathtub and into... Oh shit, we just died. Yeah, look at these guys. They like explode. Sick. Let me see how far it sets me back. I might cut to up there and take a little break, get a little drink in me and clear my throat out a little bit. Yep, alright, I'll be back in a second. Alright, we're back in black. Hit the sag. Everything's going fine, by my estimation. I took a little 20-minute break, and I'm feeling a lot better now. So, this room is absolutely packed with enemies, as long as you're diligent. And you also do have reverse on this thing, so I guess if anything like really happened, you know, you could just back up and buy yourself a little bit more time. These guys are fast, though, so... Okay, nice. We did hit them all. It looks like they were in here eating. This is probably the room that has the most active enemies that you can actually fight. So, alright, and I think that's the end of the enemies for here. Here in the hotel, so we can leave. I don't know. I guess that's a little bit of a spoiler. I thought it was cool. The end of this, so you can kind of watch where your harpoon goes. There's like cloth on all these harpoons, so it gives you a better idea of where it's going, because it's probably like hard to see it without like the cloth, so it justifies like, you know, having something for you to see. Also, there's a character up ahead. Go ahead and hop down, buddy. Oh, nope, he gets swallowed up by a, oh boy, pelican. That's right, pelican. It's got a fucking enormous, I don't think that's a gullet. What's the thing on the underside of a pelican's name? Whatever. We can see it fly away up to the lighthouse. There's this thing, which is like a pillbox sort of thing with a big ass cannon on the front, like a howitzer. Somebody the other day was like joking and talking about robbing an old folks home with a fucking howitzer. I don't know, it made me laugh. So there, I just want to show this off. People who played Reanimal know that this is not the way to go, but there's a monster that we just saw run this way. Don't worry, if everything goes all right, I won't die to it. So there we see it all the way at the end, and it starts charging at us. I probably should have just turned around, huh? Yeah, because I'm not going very fast at all this way. Oh my goodness, I guess we will die after all. Holy shit, this is a extremely ugly ass looking enemy. Huh. So anyway, we just died. I didn't anticipate dying. My bad? Question mark. But on the bright side, it is going to drop us not far from where we were. I also do still need to be out here. I should have just turned around. I'm such a dumbass. I also wasn't hitting the boost on this thing because I forgot that I had a boost because I wasn't using it in the hotel. The perils of... just dropping back into the playthrough. Get you killed. Anyway, so we're supposed to go to the right over there where this beach area is, but I want to go over to the left here where there's a cave system so that we can get the third of 5 shadow children. Excuse me, there's like this area that's got like a watery kind of cave inside of it. That you will run into one enemy here, which is really odd to me. Also, another thing that's really odd to me, there are hanging rats in here. So I don't know if there's some kind of story thing. I don't know. There are also like these weird kind of like giant rock caltrops around caltrops. And there's a mine. I thought this was the most aesthetic looking like wooden kind of crate or whatever. We can open it. I'm not sure which boy this is. It's a lanky one. And I think he steps on, like the idea here is he steps on a mine and then dies. And he's inside. Like, I just thought it looked cool because it's like a hollowed out mine. So anyway, we're not going to sit here and watch the sights, brother. Or look at the sights, brother. It's time for us to go. And that's that. So we're at 3 out of 5 of the shadow children. That having been said, I don't actually know how all of these guys die or anything. I know where the last 2 shadow children are, but I actually haven't got them. So we'll be seeing the like bonus credits cutscene together, I guess. Anyway, coming out of here, we're going to have a bit of a different perspective on like the beach, but that shouldn't stop us. We are aiming for, you can see there's like the kind of like a windowed pillbox up there. We're going to end up there eventually, but for now I need to park us right here near the ladders for us to go upwards. Here is our next enemy also, by the way, seagulls. Usually aren't that big of a problem in games. But yeah, I don't know. These guys aren't hard. I haven't actually died to the seagulls. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you can, but all I know to do is like you just scare them off and then you can continue on. I don't know if this kind of starts our feud with the seagulls or what, but this is like the first time where they become like enemies that we actually have to fight. So before, I think we saw them. We also saw, if you remember at the very beginning of the game over top of like this giant canyon, I think there was what I presume to be seagulls at the top of it. Very pretty. People were complaining on the Steam forums because I was looking for like how to purge my save because I wanted to collect the masks and stuff as I played again. And people said that they didn't like the film grain, and I totally understand where they're coming from. It generally gives me a headache, like I was talking about in my Mad Father playthrough not long ago. Also, this is fucking gorgeous. This is the hands down the prettiest moment in this game, unless you like the chases, I guess. Then there's some pretty chase moments too. What was I saying? Oh, I was talking about so they wanted to see how to disable the film grain, and I don't blame them. But I was looking back at my footage of Little Nightmares 3, and I was kind of kicking myself in the ass. I was like, fuck, I accidentally left the film grain on. I didn't even know that was an option. Then I was kind of looking at it, and I'm like, it actually looks pretty good on the footage. So even if it gives me like a little bit of a headache to play, I don't mind it. Anyway, we look in there, and we see a bunch of pigs and a couple of rats, but there's nothing to see from this side, so let's just go ahead and go in there. There's not enemies in there, I don't think. I don't know. This game is so odd to me in the things that it's kind of saying. I was thinking about this. Well, let's go inside. I don't want to get into too much of a tangent before we what am I doing here? What am I doing wrong? Oh, you know what? There's a key, I bet. I don't remember where the key is at, but I would venture to guess it's not too far away. Oh, you know what? The seagulls knocked this crate over. It kind of looks like it's got hey, get the fuck off me. It kind of looks like it was like a crate of potatoes almost. Not like a crate, I guess, but a barrel of potatoes. No, I told my friend, I was like, this game is dark, like a dark Studio Ghibli movie. Like, you know, how they got like Ponyo and they got like Howl's Moving Castle and stuff. Like, this game reminds me of a dark Studio Ghibli movie, like where, you know, it's got children, protagonists, and like it's kind of scary and you're going through like whimsical places and stuff. I wouldn't call everywhere we've been whimsical or everywhere we will go whimsical. I thought this is what we needed to do to activate the different endings in this game. light these like little bunny rabbits that are around. I don't know where they are. I don't know how many there are in the game in total. You don't have to worry about it. There's no enemies here. Very funny. We can move some of these pigs out of the way for us so that we can continue to the other end here. So I think we can go ahead and pull out and go left if we want to, but of course I want to see the big imposing pig that's here in the back, the biggest pig of them all. It's even got like its side is sewed up, and it's so big it's eating another pig. That's pretty sizable by my estimation. And it tells us to leave. That is the first animal, I think, that has ever just warned us to leave instead of out and out trying to kill us. Sorry, getting in my head here already. So yeah, I described this game as like a dark Studio Ghibli movie. It does not look like the other character is going to come with us. Lazy bones, motherfucker. Just as soon as things start to get rough, you just start dragging your feet. Oh, looks like I have to fight these guys. But I don't know. It's like, you know, you've got two protagonists. Maybe it's like a graveyard of the Fireflies type deal here. You know, you've got like a brother sister who are making it in like this kind of post-apocalyptic world and stuff. And that's not like wholesale true, but also like the way that this game sort of approaches war and stuff also reminded me a lot of a Studio Ghibli movie. Now granted, we are nowhere near the war segments yet, but I like that war gets kind of dropped into a couple games like this. Did you guys ever play Yeah, didn't you like the Call of Duty campaign in Banjo-Kazooie? No, the Conker's Bad Fur Day. It was a game for the N64, and then I think it got a remake for the Xbox. But it's like a super crass game. I like the one for the N64, so that's the one I'm going to talk about. Super crass N64 game, and it, like, towards the end of the game just randomly drops in, like, you know, you're getting drafted to war, kid, and then you have to get involved in, like, this war that goes on. That's kind of how I feel about this game. It's just like all of a sudden it's like, we're in war, everybody. I didn't really know what I was doing here other than saving the other kid. And that's not to say that there's some deeper lore implication or something that we're doing here, but like, I didn't really kind of get what was going on here necessarily, until we start to run out of here. So we, give our little sister or a sister a boost, and she climbs the cage and is able to use her knife to cut down that cage, and it falls down, waking up the, pelican. So now it's time to leave. Oh man, nice dodge. I accidentally was dragging my feet. So this is another area where, like, oftentimes I keep forgetting that I'm actually playing. You know what I'm saying? So I keep thinking it's like a movie almost, and I keep getting lost in it. I'm going to try to not let that happen. We have to get out of here, obviously a lot quicker than how we came up to it. We've got seagulls all around us. We got this fucking pelican that's like tearing up the ramps behind us and stuff, the bridges, and lots of, I don't know, this is probably close to my favorite chase sequence from the game. I kind of like the end game boss chase sequence a little bit too, but this one's really like cinematic and fun, and the music fits it really nicely. See here, instead of a traditional enemy, we are getting like ran after by like a ton of seagulls. Hey, this character at least has the door open for us. Thanks for that. He shuts it behind us, and then as we're kind of like in here with all the pigs or whatever, you want to stay vigilant. Alright, so the pelican busts in, and you want to, as the pigs run out, also run with the pigs or you will die. And I forgot about this, but we shut the door behind us, and it kills or at least lights the pelican on fire and all of the remaining pigs. Kind of crazy to me. I didn't really hate the pigs or anything. I didn't really anticipate them. I guess they probably die there, right? I also don't know if that's the end of the pelican. Like, this is going further than this. This is like, as far as, what do I want to say? So I played this game through once, and then I played it through another halfway to make sure that I could find all the shadow children, and then I got like halfway through that playthrough, and I was like, this is easy enough. I'm like, we're good. This is kind of funny. We're 4 children sitting at a bus stop. I think we get a little bit more dialogue here that we can sort of read into a little bit eventually whenever they talk. We ask, somebody asks, why we're here? Nope, no idea. All right, if you say so. People say that, and I could talk a little bit about the story now, but people say that, like, that's in relation to, like, all these children presumably, like, died. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they're asking, like, hey, we all died. Why the fuck are we back here? And we all died in different ways. This girl character here, we get another cutscene with her and the lamb that's inside of her body. Well, I didn't mean to spoiler it, but even as I was playing this game, I was like, oh shit, this is inside of her, like, clearly, and it every time, like, she starts to, have a flare up like this, it's because the lamb is, like, fucking up inside of her body or whatever, getting more grotesque and mutating and knocking around and shit. I don't know. I do like it's not juxtaposition. I need to get that word out of my vernacular. I want to say it a lot, but it's like, ironic maybe that, like, one of the biggest enemies in the game is a lamb of all things. Like, lambs are supposed to be meek. And then we've got, like, this killer lamb, basically. I told my friend as I was playing this and streaming it for him, I was like, if a bus shows up here, I am not getting on that bitch. And, well, here I am, yet again, getting on that bitch. Because we have to continue on. We have what appears to be a dead bus driver. Another Studio Ghibli. We're riding the fucking, what is it called? The Totoro bus? the giant cat bus, I think. I don't know. That was just the vibe I got as I played this. Just dark fucking Studio Ghibli. Like how you're going through all these whimsical places, and you like come to understand the world a little bit through, like, the places that you go through in, like, Studio Ghibli movies. You kind of get that same vibe here. We go through, like, a really dark sort of chasmous. Like, clearly we're just going through a tunnel. I don't think we can see anything interesting as we're kind of waiting here or whatever. It does pull us up to this, like, building that we're going to have to go into. Nice. Goodbye, bus. Thank you very much for the ride. There is, like, this, I almost want to call it, like, a boarding school a little bit. That's sort of what it reminded me of as we go through it, and then once we're inside of it. Anyway, let's get to crack-a-lackin'. Another thing that I was thinking about as I played this game is, like, the other characters that we play along with, like, they constantly, like, are, like, dragging their feet in comparison to us, like, the brother and sister, as we pull, like we're pulling most of the weight in this crew. We look through this window here, and there's another kid. My friend who was watching me at the time play this, he was like, hey, are you going to recruit that kid too? And I was like, I don't know. That one was looking a little feral to me. So I was like, I don't think I'm going to recruit that one. Don't want to have any risky business here in the crew. You know what I'm saying? Dangerous. All right. I think, yeah, we're going to boost our sister up to this thing. And I don't know where I'm getting that from. Hopefully we'll see, like, dialogue that confirms that sooner or later. It's going to be really embarrassing if I go through this entire game and, like, call them brother and sister, and I never have any dialogue or anything that backs it up. So, anyway, we scale the outside of this. Can I call it a boarding school? Will that piss people off? I'm just going to call it a boarding school because that's what it looks like to me. This actually looks a lot better. I'm able to see this on two screens because I don't know if I talked about this a while back, but, like, at the turning of the new year, I had to get a new PC, and with it I got a new television too, or like another computer screen, so that I'm able to, like, preview my recordings and stuff as they go up. And it's kind of nice. On the TV I have right now, the gamma is, like, kind of fucked up a little bit, but looking at it on this, like, other screen, which is gonna actually be the indicator for, like, what you can see on it, like, in the recording, it actually looks really, really fucking good. So here was an area I thought I had to, like, scale that copper bar over our heads, but nope. There are also a lot of, like, just kind of like sand statues, almost a little bit, like pillars of salt looking things. I can't remember, wasn't that a fable or something? It's about a man, and, like, if he looks behind himself, he's like taking his wife out of, like, Hades or something like that, and then, like, Hades, like, tells him, like, no matter what, don't look behind you. And then, like, or maybe his wife even says it, and he looks behind him, and then she turns into a pillar of salt. I can't really remember. I know that there was a Flash game made after the Fable, though. Anyway, continuing on. Not that we really have all that much that's actually going on here. So we see these children far up ahead of us, and also more of like these kind of sand statues. Yo, what's up, fellas? You guys trying to team? Oh, no, of course not. Welcome to combat. We have a crowbar. Our other partner here has a knife. So I didn't do this before. I actually got kind of stuck on the next area. Like, not stuck, but like you can't come back to here. So I do want to crawl through this hole. Oh, it looks like there's another rabbit that we can light here. Again, I have about a half a theory what this would be used for. There's like an area in the end game where you can find like a bunch of these rabbits that are unlit, and I half assume that you could get something from that, like, I don't know, maybe another mask or something, because it's not bonus content clearly, or else I would have looked it up and seen that. But all right, so we've got in this room, they've got a boy with like a what do they call it, like a bucket on his head, and in this room we have a bunch of these guys to fight, these sand children. I want to drag it out a little bit out here into the opening because we're going to have to fight all these guys. They have like a Lord of the Flies sort of situation going on. Our partner got kind of knocked down there. I don't know. This isn't like a difficult area to mess with these enemies in. Like, they're not difficult enemies. But if you aren't paying attention, you can lose. So alright, this guy has been very fucking sturdy, that one. One of these guys had a crown on his head. I don't know if we can actually pick it up. I would assume not, but I also see he has something in his chair, maybe. I wish I could pick up his crown. I like the look of that crown, but no such luck. Let's just continue on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in this area exactly. Hey, there's a pig with an apple in its mouth. Alright, moving along. I guess we'll just continue through this area. I hear kind of grunting. Oh, it looks like they're lowering a pig down into a pit while something kind of reaches back up and grabs it. Ooh, how eerie. And it's got like a little what do they call those? Not like a lever. It rotates, so it's clearly not a lever. I guess where that light is probably where we have to go. I guess nope, that is locked. Shame I don't have a bow and arrow like Little Nightmares 3. I'll just pick these motherfuckers off from here. And we've got the boy with the bucket on his head down there being messed with. I can't remember if we're in the area where we need to start sneaking yet. I don't think so. I want to look here real quick, and yeah, this is a dead end. Sorry. Your character has so much like momentum behind them. That's the word I'm looking for. It has like so much fucking momentum behind them when they move. Alright, let's turn this light on. Oh, we've got a lot of the sand children around. Let's go into this room. Is this the room where they're sleeping? There's a room where there's a bunch of sand children sleeping, and that room is kind of annoying. At least, like, I don't know, the whole game, like, well, not the whole game, but this whole place, like, leads up to, or like leads you on with combat. Like, you feel like you're supposed to do combat the whole time, and then all of a sudden it becomes a sneaking segment, so whatever. There is a concept art poster that we can grab there, and then we have enemies. Whoa, easy now. Okay, it looks like she's just getting her ass beat. Good thing we got crowbars, huh? Or crowbar, knife. She's got like a ceremonial looking knife. I don't know. I like the kind of combat we got going on here. It almost looks like a fake. Like, you know, they've got like a bucket on their head, and it's just like a fake for us to, kind of approach and then get ambushed or whatever. Oh, hey, nice. They get fucked up in the sunlight here. So, oh shit. And there's also one of those harpoon-looking things behind me. I do want to grab this in case somebody up there gets squirrely with it. Oh, nope. And I fucked up and used our harpoon already. Whoops. I don't think, like, yeah, we're not going to get messed with anymore in this room, so the harpoon here, anyway, is just a nice touch. Kind of gets you in the mood for later on when you'll have to use more harpoons. So I don't think there's... Oh, no, there's a fucking... Oh, yeah. This is probably one of the funnier masks that you can wear. It's like a Spud mask. you just put it on your head, and it's like a bunch of potatoes as your hat, and it's got like a little sprout leading out of the top of it. Cool. It reminds me of some character I can't think of right now. Maybe there's like a television show. It's animated. It kind of honestly looks like Dragon Tales a little bit, like the children's show. But it's about like a portly looking like dragon and like a kid that wears like a green hat. So this is a room we have to sneak through. I'm not... Oh, wow. I don't even know. Probably turning on my light would get me killed. All right. Hold up. Let's stop here. Oh, I almost stepped on one of the sand children. Of course, stepping on them is... You'll wake up this whole room full of enemies. Now, you can go through this area and fight everybody. That boy, we needed to give him time to turn around and put his arm out. And I believe that is all. We can break the boards off this. I don't know if this wakes them up. Like, if it does, you get out of the room so quickly you don't see them. So, anyway, we break that. And we take the door. I don't think it wakes them up. I think it's quiet. So this was an area I was like, oh, I just have to jump on the board or whatever. No. Luckily enough, the AI also saved me from myself here. They want to stand on that board while you jump across. And then you can knock down the bookshelf to bridge the gap between you and them, and then bring them over along with you. Sorry, I don't know what was going on with my voice there. It was just about broken. All right, so we've got another room of characters to fight. Oh, easy. I kind of figured that this guy was like on a timer a little bit, and maybe he is. I don't know. Whoa. The audio was getting fucked up there, so maybe the girl there was getting messed up too. Okay, yeah, it does kind of look like the thing is twinging a little bit. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pull this boy up because we need to get our fourth shadow child, which is located here. All right, let's bring him up out of the pit. Hopefully he's still alive. Very nice. This is like a portly looking character a little bit. Like you think about all like the boys or like all the children in this game. The boys like are mostly thin, but that character is portly. So this is the third in terms of like what it says on the wooden box, but the fourth for us character. We open it up. It's the portly character. I don't know if he's just getting his ass beat or what, or maybe an explosion of some kind. No. Oh, he's getting knocked into a pit. Oh, okay. So that's how he died. And then there's a bunch of wooden boxes to my left. I don't really know about any of them dying or whatever. What did I say the last time? It's kind of like, the girl had said, like, why are we alive? So I think it's clear to me that, like, all these characters have, like, died in this world and they just kind of, like, were resurrected. So I don't know. So that is locked, I think. And so, yep, we're ready to grab Portly Ornery here. I don't know what his name is. That's what I'm going to call him. Maybe Porky, Portly. I used to call somebody Pork Chop. Okay, so they lower that guy back down into the pit, and then the brother and sister duo get kidnapped, captured by all these other kids. I don't know. Whenever I played this, I was like a little bit pissed off. I'm like, I just fought all them motherfuckers, and then they just get to jump on me like that. I guess that's just how life is sometimes, huh? Alright, so we now get lowered into the pit. Good thing the pig came down here first, because it probably satiated its hunger long enough for us to at least get down here and not immediately be killed by it. Also, not seeing Portly down here at all. Unless, no, it's just us up there. So I believe that we can start wiggling. I'm not so sure. It's weird how it works. I'm just kind of like rotating the my joystick just kind of randomly until we fall down, and finally that fucking cord broke. How many things they probably had hanging off of it just for it to break now for us is once again extremely lucky. I like our new Spud hat. This is really cool. Hopefully you get along with your friends if you play this part, because you guys are some... Oh, there comes an enemy. I believe that's called the Mother. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Hopefully you get along with your friends for this part, because this is some chained together, like, bullshit. You have to, like, work in tandem with them. Thankfully, the AI, like, immediately, like, responds to, like, what you do in this game and stuff. So, unless you actually fuck a puzzle that you're working on up, which can happen as we continue on, you don't have to worry about them, like, dragging their feet or anything. It's not like the old Lego games or whatever, where like if your AI or whatever is like really fucking up, like, you both get penalized or whatever. Okay, so there goes the mother off in the distance. Either of us takes either side of this thing. I think I've got the easier side out of the two of us looking at it. Okay, so we go up to the corner here, and then they jump across, and then we want to give them time to walk around. It's like, I described this to my friend as saying, like, imagine if Operation, like the board game or whatever, was a 2-player game. That's what this reminds me of. You just kind of have to very carefully, very meticulously walk across this gap with them. And again, the AI doesn't like really fuck you or anything here. They're really on it. The AI in Little Nightmares 3 and Reanimal, like, they're both way on top of their game. So we can see Portly kind of coming and falling down onto the ground behind us. I think he is also tied up. I can't really see very well from this distance back. I was hopefully seeing if we could get down closer. All right, so the three of us are together now. We've got 2 more of us up there outside of the institute looking thing. It's a kind of shame that they did not come in with us, because maybe 4 of us could have beat the Sand Children's ass instead of 2. We'd at least have double the manpower. That's all I'll say. Still tied up to one another. I'm not so certain. I kind of feel like you probably are able to die if you interact with this pig. I guess I'll like see. So we got it like kind of in the corner here. Oh, no, I sort of just figured like maybe it would die or something. I see we have like an interacting thing. Can I like do anything with it? No, just kind of looks scared. Oh, we're laying on it. I was looking, I get like stupid ass Quora emails. I don't know if any of you guys use Quora, Quora. But it's like the website where you can like ask questions. It's like Yahoo Answers in 2026. I don't know if any of you guys use it. Oh, hey, there comes Mother down behind us. Going to grab that boy and chase us down. It's cool. They look like a big giant fur ball. Or like, what was the name of the character from, the Addams Family? Isn't it called like, it's not called The Thing, is it? Or like Ant something? I can't remember. What was I even talking about? It really probably wasn't important. I was probably just talking bullshit. I was reading a Quora post, and it was they were asking, like, if you hug your dog, do they understand that that's affection? And apparently they don't necessarily, but because dogs understand affection as like, hey, the children are like grabbing at us, and then they pull our ropes off of us. And here we're safe, because if you remember, the light like freezes those children that we've had several indicators of will happen. So I'm going to look around. I didn't really look around this place the last time that I played. I just kind of want to see, because this seems like a hell of a place for like, stuff to be around. Like I figured like maybe a hat or something. I don't know. I don't see anything though. But apparently dogs understand like, if you like nuzzle them a little bit. It's weird to say, because like it's a non-normal human interaction. Like saying you nuzzle your dogs is fucking weird. But also apparently dogs understand like if you lean into them. So I don't know. I've been trying to like my sister has like a dog or whatever, and so like whenever I give it a hug or whatever, I like try to like not lean on it. I'm clearly not. I described my stats earlier. I'm a unit. I'm not leaning on the fucking dog, but I try to like, lean into it a little bit. So I think as we open this, yep, there is a child in here. Thankfully, our partner is on it. I don't think we can go upwards anymore. I think we have to go through this door. There is some weird drawings on the wall and another collectible concept art. Wow, we've gotten enough of those, haven't we? Oh, hey, and there's like a little cat drawing on the wall. Oh, no, that's a rabbit drawing on the wall. I don't know. I hate Quora because they send me like 100 emails a day, and something about like Quora rewards like the most like contemptuous kind of answer or questions and answers. Like, I'm 44 years old and my 13-year-old son just disobeyed me to do his homework. So I took his Xbox out in the driveway and ran over it with my car. Did I do the right thing? And then it's all like these people responding to the question that's like, madam, you are the dumbest person on earth. You bought that with your own money. And I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying that like quite clearly that's some kind of a weird rage bait post. it's weird the age that we kind of live in that's rage bait, right? Like, it used to be, this is almost echoing word for word, like a post that I made online, on a forum that I interact with. But, I said, like, it's weird that, wow, what the fuck did I say? Fuck. Something about, I'm gonna have to fucking look up my post about rage bait. 1 minute. Oh, it turns out it wasn't really anything interesting. It was just me saying that, like, I sort of feel like it's like a psyop movement a little bit, to make, like, people more apathetic to things that are posted online. Like, years ago, it used to be, like, a funny little thing to be, like, to, like, a community that takes itself too seriously. By the way, we're looking for a key here. To a community that takes itself, like, a little bit too seriously online to be like, haha, you know, you got rage baited or whatever. We got jumped again. But, like, now, I sort of feel like it's I don't know. I'm not like a conspiracy theorist, like, through and through or anything. That's not true. I am. But I don't let it come through in, like, my videos and my perspectives on life or anything. Like, I've got a job where I go and work, and you don't hear me in there all day, every day that's like, you know, conspiracy theory. But I don't know. I do think, like, I think about them a lot, because, you know, it's so funny that, like, 10 years go by on a conspiracy theory, and then it's like, oh yeah, that was true, whatever. So much of, like, I don't really want to tell you, this is the last thing I'll say. So much of, like, the, like, CIA, FBI's, like, operandum has been, like, deny whenever they're caught in the act, like, immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like, the second that something happens, and then, like, 20 years later be like, oh yeah, we did that, what's the big deal? You know, that was 20 years ago. And then you can't really hold any of those guys accountable, you know what I'm saying? So like, let's say that in, like, the 90s they kill somebody, right? And then in 2010, there's, like, some files that are released that are, well, at the time, they're like, no, we didn't fucking kill them. Like, they just died of natural causes. You tell me who dies of, like, radiation poison, like, that somebody else does to them. Like, it could happen, but, like, we clearly didn't do it or whatever. Uh-oh, I didn't expect to do that, son of a bitch. So in the 90s, they'll, like, kill somebody with, like, radiation poisoning, and then fucking all this time goes by, and it's 20 years later, and, like, you know, fucking 2010, and then they'll, like, release documents, and they're like, okay, well, everybody who's involved in that was either, like, under code names, pseudonyms, has retired, you know, all this different bullshit. And so it's like an organization that never really has to, like, answer to anybody. And following, like, the 1970s, I really don't want, this is the last thing I'll say, swear to God. Following, like, the 1970s, like, whenever, like, JFK tried to, like, pull the leash back on them, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. People don't want to hear me talk about that kind of shit. I get off to a tangent on stuff like that. I'm playing a video game. I'm sorry about that. I'm thinking about replaying this whole area. Here's what we'll do. I'll swear to never do that again in a playthrough, and my session will be that maybe you guys don't get too upset at me for talking conspiracy theories for just like a couple of minutes. Anyway, moving along here, we are being chased by this mother character, and we make it out just in the nick of time, but they're, like, here and ready to fight with us. We've seen already that they can cough up these, like, sand children or whatever, and they cough up a bunch of them, and then the fight starts. So by my estimation, the best way to handle this is to, whoa, shit, okay, there they are, they come crawling through. So, you want to get your hands on, like, these spears, pretty well constantly, you know, so that you can, like, deal with these, well, not the kids, but the mother that comes through. Sometimes they alternate which hole they can come through, or which hole they do come through. You have to hit them so many times with, like, these spears to knock them out and kill them. These kids, they will throw spears at you, which is really nice because obviously you can then use them as weapons against the mother. Excuse me. Nice, we pinned him. Or we tagged him anyway. And he's getting a little bit mad. He's stomping around a little bit. Or I guess I should say she, because it is the mother enemy. Alright, now we've got 3 spears that we can use. Haha. I don't know. It seems like she charges out, and then you have to, like, hit her with a projectile before she hits you. But then also she can, like, alternatively, like, just back into the hole if she hasn't hit you in some time. So it's either, like, run really far away with her or ding her with one of the spears. Alright, so also the AI was, like, way more capable the last time that I played. In fact, I would say that they did, like, 40% of the spears that I threw the last time that I played. So, I'm going to put myself here by this spear. Hey, there we go. Now they're getting after it. All right, keep spearing it if you don't mind. Nice. Man, we are just fucking lasering the shit out of this guy, or this lady with spears. I like the look of it. Wasn't there like a fucking toy that kind of looked like, that had like the inverted like head to it? I can't think. Maybe it's like a Furby that I'm thinking of. Kind of looks a little bit like a Furby without a face. So it's got like a den that it's hiding in, way back here in the back. I would not trust to do this, but its head opens up and then we can crawl inside of it. Man, I'm really sorry for that rant. I hate whenever I go on rants like that because like it's surely not entertaining. I don't know what you're doing here exactly. I'm just going to keep moving my character forward, and hopefully that gets us to where we're going. Alright, so we've reached the end of it, and then it coughs out all three of the kids, and we beat the mother. I don't know, maybe if all these creatures didn't just try to out and out kill us every time that we ran into them, they wouldn't be so bad, but like clearly the mother has the possibility to be docile, given that she didn't try to hurt us there, but I don't know, can't trust it. Can't trust nothing in this photo-negative Studio Ghibli world. Alright, so another character recruited. We are now up to 5 motherfuckers in total. The crew grows larger every day. Grove Street Gang is getting more and more, bigger and bigger every day. Respect plus. Okay, so this area is not weird, but it's interesting. So I talked a little bit that there's like military in this game or whatever. You want to avoid this guy, easy now, because like if he sees you, he will kind of like rush you. Oh boy, he'll rush you. Oh shit, no, I don't want shot. Oh, I just got shot. Son of a bitch. Alright, well, I'm going to bait this guy the easy way then. I'm not going to cut here just yet. Maybe if I die again, I will. Alright, so I find it a little bit easier on the sort of replay of this thing anyway. So I bait him to the left over here. Okay, nice. He has seen us. And then we want to use a lot of this cover to get in between us and him. Easy now. I see him aiming again. Our goal is to hit this fucking truck is what we're trying to do. Nice miss, idiot. It looks like the fat boy has made it. And then I'm going to keep curving the edge here. Nice. I'm just going to full and sprint till we get to the truck. Very cool. All right. So we are the 5 best friends that ever there was, and we are riding in a truck. Come on there, pork chop. We got to go. I don't quite know why the soldiers are killing us. My initial theory, and maybe like I can kind of put this one out there, like as a little thought experiment with you guys. My initial theory was like maybe only children. Well, because like we know that this little girl is like fostering something inside of her. Maybe only like children can spawn these monsters. So that's why like people who seem to have a consciousness about them, like the soldiers and stuff, maybe that's why they're so like ready to hurt people, or like little kids at least. Alright, so the sheep is growing bigger and it's trying to crawl out of this hole. That's kind of scary. I miss the days whenever it was completely docile, and I think she's like coughing up blood or something like that. She's got on the I can't remember the enemy from BioShock. Sander Cohen, fucking like bunny mask. I like all of our masks a little bit. Maybe the Spud mask is a little bit goofy looking for this area. I had already said that my favorite mask is the like the little soldier man. It's got like the tin hat or whatever. And it's funny because that one actually serves a gameplay function. Like I liked in Majora's Mask, for example, how your characters all had different powers on their masks. Like, not your characters, not Zelda either, sorry. I almost showed my ignorance. Link had like, every time that you like wore a different mask, it gave him a different power. I thought that was kind of cool. I assume, no, we're going backwards. That's right. So there was like some kind of weird cave in with like this military shit. And we end up in some weird tunnels kind of nearby. Speaking of, well, like weird pipe systems and, nice. We got the whole crew now. So anything we run into, we should be able to deal with. We got 5 motherfuckers who can jump them after all. And that's all that it took to kidnap us earlier, was 5 motherfuckers. So we are at 4 out of 5 shadow children. The 5th one doesn't come up for a little bit. I forget. Let's open this door for now. I forget what we're doing out in and around here exactly. So this is like a bunker that we sort of saw a little bit earlier. I'll knock this down on the ground. I don't think this actually does anything, but I don't know. I just did it to do it. Maybe you can like go down there and see it or something. Maybe I can make like a fish mask actually if I go down to where that probably is. So we pull start a generator, and that lights things up in here for us. We've got this switchboard panel on our left that has like different lights on it. I'm going to grab the binoculars and look down at this like pillbox thing. We can zoom in if we want to. We can see around there are these codes on these like boxes or whatever. I think they have the same code. Honestly, this is a different code than the last time I played, so this must get generated in real time. Like with every playthrough, so that's kind of cool, I guess. But you just make these lights mirror whatever the code is, or maybe it's like there are only so many codes that it could possibly be. So that's cool. I'll look up a guide after this and maybe see if that's what they say is like your code is going to be unique to you. So I'm going to look through this while that kind of runs. We're both looking through one eyeglass at a time. So I think that is what we're looking at is the whatever the fuck that thing is. Hey, it does light up. And then does it open or is it an airdrop is my question. Oh shit, it's an airdrop. Interesting. I don't want to miss it. Oh, there it comes down. Nice. I did not know that was an airdrop. Cool. So it drops us a thing full of shells. Alrighty, fellas and ladies, let's move along. I was trying to think of something that we could call her, but Milady is a very cringe-ass thing to call a woman of any kind. Like, thanks for playing that completely out, 2011 neckbeards. All right, I'm going to look on the shore just very quickly. Oh, you know what? I bet it does knock this motherfucking thing down that I saw the last time that I played too. It's just like this weird, like, it's like a fucking crab almost. I'm trying to think. There's a specific enemy it kind of reminds me of, and I know it's a very fucking annoying enemy to fight, but it's got like a bunch of crab legs, and then it's got like a cylindrical sort of top. I can't fucking think. I feel like it's an enemy that has a lot of good loot in it too. Maybe it's something from Dark Souls. I can't remember. But we have a new hat. I don't really like this hat, but we are going to be going underwater here shortly, so I might as well just wear a thematic hat. We got the fucking seagulls all around again. You would think our crew could maybe do something about it, not just the 2 main characters, given that we are now a crew of 5, but I don't know. I don't really like birds too much. I think I mentioned this during my last playthrough, but I like crows. Crows are kind of cool. And then also my friend told me he's like ravens are also cool. So yeah, shout out ravens. I also do kind of like ravens a little bit. He showed me a video of like this raven, like who, like some woman is just like hanging out on a park bench, and then like a raven comes up to her and is like, "Hello," like just says like "Hello," and the top comment on it was like, "I can see why Edgar Allan Poe went fucking crazy now." All right, so we can head over to where that airdrop was over here. On this like little pillbox thing again. Maybe that code isn't different. I don't know, because I swear the last time it was like bottom, medium, top, then bottom. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just am not thinking of it correctly. But anyway, we can take the shell up here. I'm going to load this correctly the first time so that I don't have to redo this, because this is a very slow segment. I also kind of wondered if you could run yourself out of shells, because there is a different animation whenever you like load the different shells, because I fucked up once. So I don't know. Anyway, inside of this pillbox area is, once again, as I was describing, kind of like a howitzer cannon a little bit. It shoots out a spent shell, and then we can load in the unspent shell. Now, we don't want to fire it just yet, because you can see we've got a blinking light over there. We do kind of lock it into place, though. All right, let's turn let's hit the button, which opens us up a little window, and then we can work with our partner here, rotate it all around. So this is what it kind of looks like. Like, that's the hotel area that we came from, and then we keep rotating it around here. I don't think, like, just rubble. We didn't see anything notable over there. And then we have this character here. I think as long as you generally have, like, the window on them, it's, like, considered, like, the correct spot to fire this at. So, yep, I hear him a-screeching, so we hit him. Nice. We shot him with the howitzer cannon, and he falls down into the water. I'm sorry, the camera's really fucking with me right here. All right, so since we did turn the pillbox around, this is not what this is called, but I'm just going to call it that. We have to go to a different area, like the door is in a different area for us, which I think is cool, like in terms of design. Like, they could have just made it so that the cannon moved and then nothing else, but nope, they made it so that the whole apparatus moved, which is neat. So that area from earlier on in the game that we were in, we can now head that way without being attacked by that monster. Kind of cool. I like the heavy, like, equipment that you get to use in this game and stuff to fight the enemies. I guess we could speed things along here. We kick this speedboat into overdrive. All right, so we shot it right there, and then we can see him, like, falling down into the water. Ooh, how weird. And that area is kind of on fire from where we shot him. I was really scared that he might, like, re-pop up here somewhere, but he doesn't, so that's nice. There are mines up ahead. I guess I could pull out the harpoon launcher here. Maybe I won't mess with those unless I have a reason to. You know, no reason to go looking for trouble when you don't need to. We got some aircraft carriers up ahead, so we're going to pilot one of those. No, I'm just kidding. But we do have to make our way inside of one to kind of progress further. So there is a buoy here, and we beach our boat, and we can see, I'm going to show it off to the side here on the right. We've got, like, something kind of in our way a little bit. We're going to have to remove it. Fortunately, the harpoons are not going to cut it. So I think our compatriots wait out here, as is usual for them, and we'll continue inside. I was thinking, like, how cool it would be. So they're kind of, like, finally bridging the gap between, like, you know, the Little Nightmares-esque games that where you can, like, you know, before you would play, like, by yourself, and now you can play at least the two most recent entries, like Little Nightmares 3 and then Reanimal. You can play with, like, a friend, so that's really cool, right? But I wonder if they're ever going to bridge the gap and make it so that it's, like, 3 or 4 players. Now, right now, at least I can, like, direct, like, one of my friends and be like, hey, you know, come here, like, I got an idea for this puzzle, and, like, stand right here. I could not imagine communicating that with, like, 3 or 4 motherfuckers. Anyway, so we are headed into this, did I call it an airship? It's like a aircraft carrier, sort of like a ship type deal. It looks like here's another poster. I thought it would be cool if you could get, like, little lore snippets on things that you collect, but nope, unfortunately that doesn't seem to be the case. There's like we walk across precariously, there's like water beneath us. I don't think that ever becomes like a thing that we actually have to worry about, but it's there. So once again, boosting them to boost ourselves, and then I can see we've got like a thing we've got to rotate here. I don't know, I like the idea of aircraft, these aircraft carriers like this. I remember I was listening to a comedian talk about performing on one of these, and I was thinking, like, damn, that, like, to perform comedy on, like, one of these, like, I don't even know where inside would you, like, set up, like, a little area where you could do comedy in front of, like, you know, dozens of soldiers or whatever. I don't know. So we come upon this area. We have a creature here. Don't be too scared by it. It can't really hurt you. It's like a sleeping whale. It can't really see us or anything. It's got water leaking out of its eye. It doesn't even really give us much at the time of day. My first inclination was that it looked kind of like the thing that we just shot with the howitzer joint, but I don't think so. I think on the wiki, I think it's labeled as like something whale, like beached whale or sleeping whale or something like that. So I'm going to take its word for it. It's funny. I doubt you remember it, but do you remember whenever we got the saw way earlier on in this game? Well, the wiki lists that thing as a character, and it's called like the headless chicken. And it's so weird to me because there aren't even like wiki pages for like some of the children in this game, but there is a wiki page for the fucking headless chicken. I'm just shaking my head right now. Speaking of shaking my head, we're gonna put on these like wetsuits, like diving suits, to go down and like go down into the water. This is a thing, like, again, like I was just shaking my head. I'm like, you're fucking insane. What are we doing here? Why are we going down into the water? You're crazy. Also, a very funny death, if you're in the business of it, is to go down here without a fucking wetsuit on. You only make that mistake once. Now, to be fair, I didn't implicitly understand that we were going to go down into the water. I thought maybe I was going to do something where, like, I lowered a certain amount and then we move it. I didn't know we were going to go down into the fucking water the way that we are. You will drown. Speaking of drowning, there are also minefields around. We don't have to worry about an enemy for a long time, and also, in my opinion, an area like this would not be very fun, but thankfully, it does not overstay its welcome. It is very, very, very short-lived. Alright, so we can kind of, like, as we're moving forward, we also want to think about, like, our return trip, so that we can get back to the cage. We have the crowbar with us, which is good. I'm glad we didn't leave any equipment behind. Our new lights are these like underwater flares. These are kind of nice. I don't know how they managed to make a flare do this. It's beyond my understanding scientifically. It's also like I watched a video here recently that like explained how to make thermite, but I still don't understand the application of thermite. I saw it in Breaking Bad. Clearly they used it to break into some shit, but I don't understand like what thermite is usually used for. Even like I kind of get it a little bit in like Battlefield applications a little bit, but it probably has like a lot of applications I'm not really aware of, which is what I want to know about thermite. I guess I could just Google it after I am done here. So we've got a hand that is on this like wall here as we continue forward. Now, if you remember, this is the character that we shot with the fucking howitzer earlier, and now we are using our crowbar to climb up here and de-eye it. It has, you can see it's got like big ugly teeth. It kind of looks like a fucking deer or like a completely skinned, wow, what the fuck is that? Vulture. Like, that's the idea I get from it. It's got like long, gangly arms, kind of like a vulture, but I feel like it has more of like a face like a deer. So anyway, we've got an eye. Keep an eye on it as we start to leave. I believe it's here that it's most notable, that we'll be able to see like its hand moving and stuff. So, yeah, please, camera, agree with me whenever you get a minute. All right, so we are running away as that thing chases us. I thought it was kind of cool. It seems like the application of this eye, like it still functions for that thing. So that's so creepy. Imagine like, you know, the only reason that like it has a perspective on you right now is because like you are carrying its eye, and it's like, oh my god, and like moving like as the monster, as it's like, well, I guess it also has the other eye too, but I don't know, real creepy. Okay, so I want to obviously avoid the bombs. Nice. And they will keep blowing up as we run forward. And it collapses the building on it. Very nice. Now, if you don't mind, little sister, let's hop into this cage, because I am totally good off being down here in the water for a while. Neat. I don't know. I thought it was cool to fight that thing in kind of the way that you did or whatever. Like, it was a really neat... I like how you howitzer it and then you run away and then like the mines kind of deal with it. It tries to bite us. It does bite us, I guess. Oh my goodness. Alright, so I'm gonna hop out, and nice, it gets the cage, and maybe it thinks that it gets us. I don't know. But we have these wetsuits on still. So we're going to lose them here in just a second. I believe we trade the eye to the whale for a magic ring that lets us fly. No, this is no fantasy game. But we do give this like beached whale the eye from the creature, and looks at us a little bit softer than the last thing that looked at us. I'm actually seeing this cutscene for the first time because I was watching my friend play, I think, Wizard 101 while I was playing this. So Anyway, it's like a big, elongated whale, clearly. It looks like most of the monsters in this game are, like, mutated in some way, and this one is obviously no exception. It turns around and then, I guess, just fucks off. So there goes another challenge out of the way, handled deftly by Dr. Dirk. And that is how to negotiate. What's that stupid ass book called? How to win friends and influence enemies. How to get a giant whale out of your way and kill a giant underwater deer while you're at it. Oh yeah, cool. I also want to pick up one of these masks. We can wear the diving masks as like a mask to be added to our inventory. Cool. Let's move along. That has been that. So I think we've got like a fast travel back to out of here, or like a shortcut. Oh, she's fucking hung up on the on the lip there. All right. Now, as many times as the AI has kind of saved my ass and carried me. Hey guys, you'd never believe where I just was. Did you hear all those explosions under the water? Man, all you guys are napping. Come on, let's go, fellas. I don't know. They all have like different. I can't remember if the wiki like calls them by their masks, or maybe they're credited as something in the credits and it calls them the appropriate names. I don't know. So we're driving through the middle of this aircraft carrier, and it's time to get to scooting. We've got a couple of enemies apparently. All right. Laser in that one. I'm just rethinking about the Shadow Children now because I'm like, oh fuck, where is the next Shadow Child at? I'll shoot that thing. Very nice. I also think you can use these mines to knock out the fat people, the bloated people. So I don't know. Don't be afraid to do that, I guess, but I'll probably won't have much occasion for it. So there comes one down off of the bridge above us. Okay, I'm trying to let him get back up to where he's walking around. All right, or I guess swimming around. These guys are very diligent swimmers for being bloated ass motherfuckers. All right, and we've got a bunch of stoplights around here. This would be a very annoying place to drive through. Stoplights back to back to back to back to back. All right, lots of enemies here. I think we have dinged all the ones that I'm capable of seeing. There's also some like dead in the water enemies that it will automatically light up. I prefer dead in the water ones over alive in the water ones, so I'm okay that there are duds around. Oh, there comes a couple more enemies down the way. I think we're getting to about the end of the usefulness of the boat. I can't remember, but I know it doesn't carry us through the entire game. Oh, there is probably some enemies there. Oh boy, I'm trying to just like get around them a little bit. All right, nice. I don't want to wake up any, enemies unnecessarily, especially to the point that they might kill us. Oh, speaking of which, there comes an enemy out of this bus. Probably a couple of them. Yep, I see him spearing a couple of them. Hey, it's another bus, speaking of, a golden bus. I don't think it's the same bus as earlier, but it is the same design bus, so. Oh, man. All right, we are doing well. I don't really remember what comes after this. I see we've got, like, the end of the tunnel here, which is good. No light in it, but, well, I don't know how I can spin that for the positive, but no light in it. These buildings are very high up. I thought it was cool. I'm just going to blow these up. I thought this was really cinematic to, like, blow these up as you're kind of coming in forward. Shame that we aren't being chased by something that warrants blowing them up, but who cares? All right, I guess I'll just speed us along. So it's at this point you can start hearing like explosions way off in the distance, and it all starts to like, sorry, it all comes flooding back. I wish we could go back. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, me too, mate. I also like their accent. It's not like Australian, is it? It's maybe British. There's a person who is hanged above us. Gotta be a way out. Of what? How? I'm not seeing it. If you see a way out, let me know. Alright, so I don't know what it's doing here for transition. Oh, cutscene. Interesting. It's got the top of a well, which it used to transition us to the next kind of level. So that's cool, I guess. Oh, this area is falling down around us. I'm just kind of gunning it. Hopefully we get it out of there before it all comes collapsing down around us. Neat. All right, let's continue on, my friends. So this is kind of the dark version of Stand By Me, if you like that movie. No, it's nothing like Stand By Me, other than it's a bunch of young friends. Maybe kind of like the It movie a little bit. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of Stephen King. I did go watch It Part 2 in theaters, and I thought that movie was fucking hilarious. I wonder if the apparently there's like some new series of It out right now that I think is like a short, like episodic series of the It clown, Stephen King's It. Alright, so the girl is quite clearly like, you know, not doing well behind us. I think once she gets close enough and we try the door, she kind of falls down, and we go over to like console her, and now it's kind of like the penultimate moment. Like, we've been kind of putting it off for a long time, but I don't think that the sheep is going to wait any longer. It's crawling up this like cave. It's like busting its way forward. She has held it back for as long as she can, but she's just got to let the world know there's a sheep inside of her, and she's going to let it out. I don't know. This is like horrific. Like, what the hell's that movie called? It's the, I'm not doing so good. This has been one straight recording session besides my breaks. It's not The Conjuring. It's the old one, The Exorcist. That's kind of what she reminds me of, is The Exorcist, or like Jew on the Grudge or something like that. All right, so the two of us have gone on forward, and two of us stayed behind. We are like, you know, helping the little girl or whatever to get at least like where we can move her, and then we've got the boy on the side there. We might as well see what kind of trouble we've gone and got ourselves into now. So now that we have seen the girl kind of like at least spawn like, you know, an enemy or whatever, it does make me wonder if like children in general, like, I don't know, like, can spawn these enemies, or you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why there's not many children, and why people are so like aggressive towards children as we kind of, you know, go throughout the game. So the sheep just killed one of our friends, I believe. I'm not sure which one. Oh, hey, there's the fat one beside us. So not the fat one. It's probably, I think it's the first one that we ever recruited. The one that's from the factory, that is. We just continue on now. It's walking down this hallway. We don't have to worry about like catching up to it and then it like fucking us up or anything. So I think once we boost the girl up through this hole, she's like back to being capable again. Like, she can walk around and stuff. So this like little carry segment is sweet, endearing, and short-lived, thankfully. Anyway, I think, yeah, we just crawl up ourselves, and then everybody is ready to go. Cool. I liked reloading this area because everybody's just kind of like chilling. Like, this is where I took a break from the game at a certain point. I don't think that was the first break. I think I played this over the course of like 3 or 4 days. But like, everybody's just kind of like chilling, sitting around here, and I don't know, it's a vibe, I guess. I promise I'm trying to move the controller. It's not doing anything. Again, we can hear explosions way off in the distance, and we get it kind of with some screen shakes and stuff too. But I try to keep the volume down enough where it doesn't like interrupt me and stuff. I was watching old playthroughs of like my oh shit, I saw there was a poster here. I was watching old playthroughs of whenever I played, I think it's Duelist Legacy, maybe, or Duel Link Evolution or some shit like that. And the music in that, I left that way too fucking loud. But it's embarrassing how loud I fucking left the audio on that. So, we are in the fucking trenches. Like, things around us are going to explode and stuff like that. And we're going to eventually see, like, soldiers and shit. There's one. He's got, like, a pistol. He kills himself. It's some real The Happening kind of around here a little bit. Oh, great. That's what I get for scratching my head. Yep, one's got, like, a rifle there. It's real morbid, this whole, like, war segment. And I also wondered, like, what they're fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it two armies of soldiers fighting? Oh, there's a guy with a grenade. So we want to like fuck off from him real big. Because, like, you know, we're also being like, this is not the army boy hat, but I will wear it because I think it looks cool. are we being like, okay, who is this army fighting? Because we've got explosions around us, right? Which leads me to think that we are... It's like humans fighting humans. This is also interesting because it's like one of these fat motherfuckers kind of running around in like an outfit. So, I don't know. Is it the good guys maybe, or like on the other side who are like trying to bomb us? I don't know. So this is where you can see like you can light these. I presume you would get like maybe the statue head if you lit all of the candles throughout the game. I'm not concerned about it. I just wanted to show that off since we're all the way over here. So yeah, the soldiers instantly kill themselves when they're near us. Again, that's kind of what leads me to believe, or like they try to shoot us like this character is, which leads me to believe that like, you know, the reason that they're doing that is because like we're deadly, and the only reason we would be deadly as children is if like, you know, we spawned these things, in my opinion anyway. Alright, so this guy is firing at us with this machine gun. I watched a video recently that described like why, how it's kind of ironic that like the guy who invented the machine gun wanted to actually produce less deaths, because his theory was like, if you make a gun that shoots like, we'll just say like 100 rounds a second, right, then you would need like 100 less soldiers to fire that gun. But unfortunately what it does is it leads to 100 more 100 people having machine guns on the battlefield and killing thousands and thousands of people. But you know, this isn't like a belly aching about war type thing or anything. But I did think that was interesting that the man who invented the machine gun, it basically did the opposite of what he had intended it for. Wish I had a machine gun to laser this fucking sheep with right now. Thanks, man. So we've got the portly character closing the door, and he pays for it with his life. Yikes. That's a shame. That'll show you to do anything ever. Alright, so we can move along. I think this is the point in the game where like the other character is like, man, fuck this. This is like crazy. Like, I'm out of here. Earlier on in one of these military installations, there was a number on the wall that said 2. I believe it was whenever we were in the area. Fuck, maybe it wasn't even there, but I believe it was in the area where like we got that. Whoa, shit! I almost fell in the pit. We got the code that we inputted for the shells for the howitzer gun, and it said 2 on the wall, and then that back there says 1. So you know, probably a military installation that we're in right now, to say the least. But their relation to one another, shrug emoji. Alright, so we had a character's bottom half just come through the door there. We can help this, our partner to hit the elevator button and leave this place. So here's something else I was thinking about. Like, what's your place in this world, you think? Not story perspective, but like, let's say you were dropped here, right now. Like, what's the best place for you? Do you just like hide away in like one of these bunkers, or do you like, I don't know, do you hide away in like some closet somewhere? Like, that's not really your life, is it? I mean, also, like, what are you going to do for food? What are you going to do for water? I don't know. That was something I was thinking about in this game, though, because there's like plenty of times I'm like, oh, this would be like a nice place to like stay temporarily. And then I'm like, well, I don't know if you even get much of an opportunity for staying anywhere like temporarily. Like, where's your food at? What are you going to do for food? You got to eat. The other boy just ran down that hallway in the last room that we were in, and this has like some red beeping inside of it, which is a bit of like a foreshadowing that is going to blow up. Thankfully, this is an excuse to give your character tinnitus so that you don't have to deal with a bunch of explosions in the next room. It is actually a really cool gameplay gimmick that I like a lot, because as we continue on into this next room, we're going to have like a bunch of explosions. I guess we have one behind us as well. He pulls a pin out of a grenade, and then he explodes behind us, which wakes, you know, other characters up as we're kind of around, and then they use grenades and stuff. We do hear like explosions as we're kind of running around and shit. Clearly they like pull the pins on their grenades and stuff, and then, you know, kill themselves. Oh, we got another one coming out of the hole here. This is a really cool segment. I like it a lot because, like, you know, you're just like running past all these guys who have grenades and are blowing themselves up and shit all around you. Wow, there they go. Okay, so we make our way to the end here, and then we want to turn around, if you can believe it, and this is where the 5th and final shadow child is. It is through this hole here. Again, you can see that number 1 on the wall behind us. I think I'm twisting it the wrong way. I know the location, and I know that we're clearly going for a shadow child, but I don't actually know what's down here. I think it's like an arsenal, another arsenal of, shells and stuff like that. Yeah, these are some bigger ones, honestly, like bombs. And there you can see the number 3. 4. So those are apparently the floors. Yeah, I don't know. You would think that a military with like this kind of firepower or whatever might be able to handle the the enemies. This is a rabbit that is upside down on this door. We open it. Oh, hey, and there is a rabbit inside, as a matter of fact. Very interesting. The girl is like, has her hand down for it. I guess it just fucks off. Huh. I sort of figured it would die again, but whatever. So we now have 4 shadow children and a bunny. I'm going to just call it 5. And that means we get the bonus credits scene at the end of this game, which is coming up very quickly. I would say maybe in like 20 minutes or so. Like is probably when I'll be closing the video out. I think we are done in this room. And this is like the area where we had all the exploding and shit going on. And yeah. So we can continue on now through this door. I don't know. I think the Shadow Children were like a cool enough addition or whatever. Like, it's chill. So as we start to leave out here, we've got this boy who opens the door, and we hear, like, running, like a lot of running, and then all of a sudden it slows up whenever it's near him, and this sheep like starts to transform, and then it grabs him. It's now got like arms and legs, kind of like a human. It is really fucking freaky looking. It's like whenever they give animals like human teeth or something like that, there's something about that that's like inherently eerie. It's also, I don't want to talk about this too much either, but like apparently I was like listening to this on a podcast. So like children's like beauty pageants or whatever, apparently they give like children like adult like novelty like teeth inside of their mouths because it helps them win more. And in like the images of them, this is what they were describing, apparently like look weirder. And I was trying to imagine that because like children generally have like smaller teeth, but like to see them have like a big full mouth of teeth, oh my god. This is really pretty. This is if you're gonna look up anything about this game, look up the this song that this guy is playing. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do you a favor right now. I'm gonna give you a little taste of it. Kind of reminds me of the original Minecraft soundtrack. Unfortunately, a sniper shoots his ass. Oh yeah, and this is the hat that gives us a gameplay boost. So, I guess this is the Soldier Boy hat that I was thinking of. Oh hey, here, we've got another poster that's on the wall. I wish I could zoom in this camera and take a look at whatever this thing is here on the left. I don't know if it's interesting or anything, but it's got like some red flashing lettering that I can't even come close to being able to tell what it says. So the way that this area works, if you are in the light, he will shoot at you. If you are in the dark, he will not. If you're in the light, so it's got some delay because clearly it's a sniper, right? If you're in the light at all, whenever the bullet would hit, like you've got bullet time, right? Like bullet drop off, sort of like time dilation. That's what I'm thinking of, time dilation. If you're in the light, whenever the bullet would reach you, you die. So that's how that works. I'm sure I'm going to be able to show that off. Like, I don't have any doubt in my mind that I'm probably going to die this sniper like 2 or 3 times. It's just like it's not a difficult enemy, but it's an enemy that actually has some teeth to it. So, all right. No. Actually, we go to the right here. Whoa, easy now. And we can... It looks like I'm going to have to get into the bathtub from the side. Whoa, not that side. There we are. And then we can climb up through the window. Come on, man. This is not not meant to be this hard. This is kind of cool. Whoa, we get to see the sheep as it's kind of running through, and we don't get shot at because there are clothes hanging on clotheslines out here, so like sheets and stuff. This is another area we can sit down, add that to our repository of places that we can sit in the apocalypse. All right, and then we can leave out of the door. I don't think there's anything to this room. I guess I could turn my little lighter on. That didn't really help me out. That helped me out marginally. Another big washer and dryer place. Okay, so I don't know if we get this. I don't think we have the sniper here, at least not right this very second. Yeah. Oh, you know what we do got? We got fucking crawlers with grenades. You know, in all the years that you ever played Black Ops 2 and you had to make a crawler with a grenade, this is now the time that they're paying you back. All right, so we have soldiers here that have been hanged. I'm going to take the little gun here. I don't know if you can set the rifle up to do this, but, and I also forget what even the activate button is. Apparently it's X. And you can shoot the key down off of this guy. This is an area that can definitely take way longer than it needs to if you aren't really aware of what you're doing. I also thought it'd be cool if you could bring the gun with you, but one, you cannot, and two, it probably wouldn't do anything to anybody that you will run into for the rest of this game, either because they are A, too far away, B, too big, or C, already dead. So, alright, so I hear some like skin kind of tearing up ahead of us. A bunch of soldiers' bodies around. I hear some explosions way off in the distance. Here comes the sheep is like turning around. It also kind of looks like it has like the little like Baphomet thing on like its head, like a little tiny bit. Also, of course, we've got like a blood moon behind us. There are two triggers to like make it turn around again, otherwise it won't turn around on its own. Like it doesn't have like an animation where it like looks left and then looks right and then looks behind and then looks forward and then behind and forward, behind and forward. No, it's just got like where it's active and not active, and it only takes time to make it unactive. And so here we go. I think we have to boost the girl and pull this corpse down. This seems like a very dangerous prospect to me. Now we just want to hide behind the shopping cart again, and it grabs that soldier as like a fresh body to eat, looking more and more human-like every second. I thought about crawling out from behind my hiding place there, but I'm glad I decided against it. All right, so now we can boost our sister up to the ledge here, and then she can give us a hand up to it as well. I think we're kind of like closing in on the kind of end of this game. There's like 2 or 3 like really exciting things that happen, and then something super exciting happens, and then that's the end of the game for us. It looks like there's a red light up there. I don't think it has any bearing. So okay, so the number 5 on this wall, again, don't think it has any bearing on anything we're doing. Oh, hey, there's a soldier there. This is funny. So he like goes to shoot us, but then the sniper shoots him. Keep an eye on how much shadow that you have here. Also, he's just going to like dry fire down this hallway, sort of. You don't have to worry about the canned food here. It doesn't really do anything for you. You do want to... Whoa, shit, I almost got shot there. You do want to be away from that car whenever it explodes, clearly. I'm going to head... Oh, shit. Oh, nice. It nicked our helmet, though. I don't think we get a mulligan on that. But if we do spawn in again, like let's say I get shot by this guy coming up, it does give me a brand new helmet, so that's nice. Oh, just... Yep, alrighty. He's still shooting at us. I think this part is like kind of neat because you can see... I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but like focus up in the top leftish of the screen, like the first quarter. Like if the screen was in quarters, up in the top left quarter of the screen, you can see like flashing there as he like tries to shoot at us. He does take a break. Whoa, shit! Whenever like he hasn't seen us in a little bit, but otherwise he'll like empty a clip. So you want to pull this car back to free room to continue to push that car, and it does stop on these like on some rubble there, so that's nice. Whoa, you better get behind the car there, little lady. All right, so we push this car up to the point that it is near this bus that we see up ahead. I don't... Oh, yeah, this is really cool. So he's up in, like, a clock tower. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I didn't expect the car to kind of get away from me. Wow, I think I got very lucky there. Another time whenever I didn't realize I was in a cutscene. Or not in a cutscene, my bad. Okay, so he is emptying rounds into the area around us. We can pick up this... It's like what? Like a fucking Stinger missile or something like that? I can't remember what they call these things. I only happen to know it from like the Call of Duty game. So, alright, then we fire this and it launches. Oh, I didn't realize I had to aim it. I'm an idiot. No, if any of you guys like played Mass Effect, the Mass Effect games, at the end of the whole of Mass Effect 3, like Earth is overran with like aliens that are like zombie aliens kind of, and there's a character that's in a in like a clock tower that's like holding off the aliens. It's so fucking cool, dude. And like you can there goes the soldier. He just fell out up there. GG. Nice fight. You just got boom tube, noob. That's a retro thing to say. Holy shit. Alright, so we are in what kind of looks like no man's land. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable in my chair right now. We have a lot of soldier bodies around. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to be any mines. This is a time whenever it wouldn't hurt me to have my pistol. I also, like, these guys don't really care about us so much anymore, which leads me to wonder, like, are they, like, the infected kind of variant of the soldier? You know, like how we saw a bloated one earlier? Like, is this, like, the beginning of them? Or, I don't know. Also, like, we can see, like, bombs dropping off, like, way in the distance or whatever. Now, granted, I'm not willing to get so close to these guys that I will test just how interested or uninterested they are in us, but alright, so we get moved up here, and a tank kind of creeps its head out from the fog. I like the, like... Oh, what do they call it? It's whenever you like strum on something and you make like the wires like really tight on like your guitar. Like, oh shit, did I just die? Oh my god, I thought I was dead for sure. No, we're alive. And then you like whammy it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a steel string guitar, like fucking whammy. I really like this soundtrack a lot. It's like and then it's got like a shepherd's tone to it where it's like constantly going down until like it strums the next strum. So. Alright, I would like to bait it into like a shot, but I don't think that's going to happen. It's all loaded, ready to go. Oh man. Okay, maybe we can get him to fire another shot before we do anything. Okay, so we've got a grenade here, clearly. Alright, let's toss her up onto the tank and then wait for him to load it up. Pay attention, we've got like a character. We somehow like perfectly tossed it up into the tank and he crawled out of it, and now we've gotten we're getting our heaviest equipment in the game, a tank, just for us two. This is far gone are the days whenever we had naught but a boat and harpoons. Now we have a tank with a fucking like a bunch of shells inside of it. This is a really cool segment. I was thinking like, hold up. Oh yeah, we have to actually hit accelerate. That's right. It's like a vehicle. I keep forgetting that every time I play. Do you know at like how the end of Little Nightmares 1, you basically had like these superpowers at the end and you could like kill everybody that you ever like came across or whatever? That's what this kind of reminds me of, is like, you know, you're still like driving through like a battlefield and there's enemies and there's bombers and all kinds of shit. But now you have a tank to help you out with it. So, oh, speaking of which, we got enemies up ahead that were shooting at us anyway. I don't know. It's cool. I also kind of like how there are like red lights oftentimes to indicate like where the enemies are. Not that you really need it, because it's mostly machine guns around you, so you should know where they're at. In this ending segment where you drive this tank, there is you can get an achievement for running over 24 cars. I accidentally did that when I played the first time, so we are going into this. It kind of looks like a state's house a little bit. Driving like clean through it, shooting the walls to like give us room to drive through these buildings and stuff. Most effective tank on the battlefield. That's an award we'll get at the end of this. No, that's just a joke, of course, but all right. Oh, maybe It does kind of look like this is like a town hall building a little bit. There's a chair. I wonder if we could sit in it. Well, now I don't have to worry any longer because we smushed it. Alright, so there is the lamb ahead of us. I'm just going to shoot it a couple of times to get it out of our way. I don't know. I thought it was cool that you can fight the lamb. That's the final boss. GG. That was all. I hope you guys enjoyed. No, of course not. It wouldn't be that exciting of a game if that's all was to it, right? It comes up from behind us, and this is like a two-parter. Again, I assume that you could pilot this with like your friend. So we're like running away at the same time that we shoot this lamb. So it's like a two-parter a little bit. Now, we have to curve here, or else we'll fall into the abyss, the chasm. Okay, nice. It seems to have straightened us out there. Alright, and we are really just nailing this motherfucker with shells. Unfortunately, it seems to kind of all be for naught, because it is just tanking all of these shells. You know, this was really disheartening for me when I was playing, because I was like, okay, I've hit this motherfucker with like 30 shells, right? Like, we're not going to be able to kill this thing. Some buildings are falling around and stuff. We're just like really lighting this thing up. See that big building in the background, and it falls down into the chasm, and that's that. It comes up underneath of the floor, though. It kind of looks like its sheep coating has changed from how much we've like lit it up. Oh, that's right. I need to turn her around and then light it up. Very cool. Oh, and we gotta wait for it to get into position again so that we can shoot it again. I don't know. This was so cool. It's just like, you know, you're both on your last legs a little bit, and then like you just firing at this motherfucker. It did kind of look like we singed its fleece a little bit to be from black to white, sort of. But I do think it goes back to, was it black sheep earlier? I feel like it had black fleece. I don't know. I thought it looked different at this point in the game anyway, after we lit it up so much with some shells. So now, for the rest of the game, I believe, we play as the girl. I don't know if this is too much of a spoiler. Well, it shouldn't be. Come on, man. So you can see underneath of this tank that there's like some movement down there. Man, I thought this was so eerie the first time I played. I was like, no, just get out of here. Stop fucking around. And the boy gets swallowed up, and we are now playing as the girl. So we were once the crew of 5, the 5 best friends that there ever was. And now we are down to just 1, which is a real shame. The sheep grows in size. Pay attention to it, not so much to like what I'm doing. That is like such a fucking cool looking like effect. I don't even know. It's just like a big fucking eldritch monster a little bit, like growing, and it's got all these different legs now. It's got several dozen legs, and the fleece just keeps multiplying, and I don't know. It looks weird, and it looks fucking sick, and I love it. And the sheep, like, is you know, gonna notice us eventually. We've upgraded it to its like final form. This is like Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're familiar with what boss monsters are nowadays, this is kind of what it looks like a little bit. This is like a boss monster from Yu-Gi-Oh! And it notices us and comes down and swallows us, and we are now the 5th of the children swallowed. Now, to be fair, we did last the longest, but I don't know what else we could expect from something like that. Okay, so there are 4 boys, and they have a book, and something in the middle here. They've all got knives. I'm just kind of explaining just in case you need some explanation what's going on here. They all slit their like hands, and then they drop blood into like this. It looks like an idol kind of in the middle of the room. And I'm going to be describing kind of what's going on the screen to not only help myself, like it's going to help me, but I feel like if you're not able to tell very well what's going on the screen, like, or if you're one of my blind viewers, you can hear me describe it to you. That'd be, I think about that sometimes. Like, it's like, I don't feel the same kind of like way that, wow, what was his name? It's the Mr. Rogers. I don't feel the same kind of way that he does a little bit about it or whatever, where like Mr. Rogers would like describe when he was feeding his fish tank because a little girl like wrote into him or something like that and was like, hey, I miss whenever you used to say that you would feed your fish. So he says it on every episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood at a certain point. I don't feel that way, but it would, like, playing video games is probably one of my like favorite things to do in my free time, and it would really upset me if I couldn't do it. Now, to be fair, it's not the end of the world. There's more to life than that, and I don't pretend that there isn't. But like, I think about that sometimes. Like people whose like gaming was probably like their hobby, and then they're like blind or something now, or people who love music and now that they're deaf. Oh, hey, we've got some shadow children on the bus nearby us, so. Or on like some of the shit there. I don't want to talk about morbid stuff, but we are getting to the end here where things are like kind of creepy and morbid. So there is I think that's a rabbit on the floor underneath of us, and I think there's rabbits up above us too. We're getting to the point here where we're going to start hearing my thoughts on the story, but I'm going to let this, because there's like a final cutscene type deal that we'll be going through here shortly. There are 5 rabbits on the floor underneath of us. And there's like, you can hear like shit all around like the shed that we're in. I can't remember how this ends, but I was like thinking in my head, I'm like, just put yourself in a corner and just keep that knife out, baby doll. That's what I would do anyway. Best way to handle a situation like that. Okay, listening, it kind of sounds like maybe walking or stretching of skin a little bit, or like tautness of rope. I'm not able to tell. All right, so here's what we've got. This is like, we've got 4 boys, and the 4 boys that we've seen so far, a dead rabbit, and the like a body in a sack, and we're carrying it along with us. We've got a lot of sheep around here, so just stick with me for a second. Imagine this is the beginning of the story and the game and everything like that. I'm gonna be jumping around the story here a little bit, so just stick with me. All right, so we are playing as the boy, and we're dragging along like somebody who has like long black hair inside of a sack. And again, we're in like a big field full of sheep, and we've got like, you know, it's the 4 of us that there's ever been. We're missing a member. I shouldn't tongue in the cheek it so much. It's clear to me, it seems like that this is the girl, and I find this is like a sort of like pre-story retelling of what likely happened. So they've got a dead rabbit in their hands, and so it seems to me like this is probably some kind of like a ritual a little bit that they're performing or whatever. Now granted, she's moving, but I think this is like her version of like events, like the way she sees them. So there are a lot of sheep all around and stuff. So she like has to relive this event, even though in my opinion, she wasn't necessarily alive for it. Whoa, how creepy. Lots of, sheep kind of all around us. This is so fucking eerie looking. And we got like, they start like growling and bleeding, and, then the like rain falls all around us. Ooh, and there's red in the sky and cut to black. Wow, how eerie. And then so this is again, this is like a different sort of view on the thing. There are the 4 boys at the top of this like well, and they're looking down into it, and we had just seen a cutscene of like those boys near a well or whatever, and I guess we're seeing kind of the perspective of the bottom of the well, and the girl is down here. I don't know. Nothing is really happening. It is darker now. There was like a red tint in the sky before, but now it's got like the same like sleepy night sky that we've kind of come to expect from this game. She starts floating. It seems kind of like she's being possessed a little bit. Reanimal, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. We've got some more cutscenes and stuff. Hey, I earned myself a bonus fucking cutscene, and I expect to get it. I can skip the credits, and you best believe that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, so time for our post-credit cutscene. So, we can see the girl at the bottom of this well, and it's really dark. It's really eerie all around. And this is like the bonus, like little cutscene that you get. They've got these like masks on these characters, and they are like crawling out from around her. And there's a lot of them. There's at least 6 of them, from what I can see. I can't tell if they have anything in their hands, but they are knocking around the rocks that are nearby. And there's like water down here. And I think it's slowly starting to rise a little bit. One of them like puts his hand over her, and then it cuts to black. So we did all that shadow people bullshit for that extra cutscene. This is the normal post-credit scene. So we've got a well out here in the middle of nowhere. think there are sheep in the background from what I'm able to see. And we hear like kind of wind howling a little bit. And maybe like kind of like slushy watery a little bit. And then out from the well comes it's some water. And yeah. I'm sorry, this cutscene is not going at the pace that I am. I'm sorry. But water starts to come up out of it, and it's like the girl, you can see her for just a couple split seconds there at the end. Thank you for playing. So how do I see this story? Because we've got everything kind of under our like, what do they call it? Like under our seat for now. So I'm going to talk about the story the same way I did Little Nightmares 3. This one I'm a little bit more confident in my answer. So anyway, if you don't care for it, that's been Reanimal. I hope you enjoyed. See you guys next week. So here's my thought about this game, like the story. So the events there at the end are like what seemed to have happened. So I don't know exactly what's going on with the rabbit, because there seems to be like sort of some weird stuff going on with like, what does the girl have to do with the rabbit? But here's my take on the story. I think that the girl died in some way, and they were all friends. Even if they were brother and sisters, they were all friends. And what they decided to do was do like some weird occult ritual to like resurrect somebody by killing a rabbit and then like putting their blood all in that idol or whatever. And then they threw her down the well. That was the last thing that they had to do. And then the girl actually was like revived down in that well, but also as part of that curse, the water starts to rise out of that well, and it causes the Great Flood. And then I don't know, like verbatim, like word for word, why all the creatures exist and stuff like that. I kind of think it has something to do with probably like the girl. Like I think again, that everybody hates kids in this world, and it's not just because they're annoying. No, that's no longer an excuse to just like, I don't know, skin them or whatever the skinner was going to do, or grenade yourself to death or anything. No, that's no longer an excuse. We now have to raise them. But I think that like these kids are probably like able to spawn these things from like their bodies and stuff, like whether they mean to or not. I mean, the girl certainly didn't mean to. And so that's why everybody like tries to kill them on sight. Was there anything else super important? So like there at the end, we kind of get to see the girl like, so that's why the story opens with like us going through the water and then picking her up, and we're like, oh shit, I thought you were dead. Like, because in everybody's perspective, the last time they saw her was dead at the bottom of a well, and then the world fucking ends, and then, now they're kind of like all gathering one another. I don't think there's anything else like big. Like there's like the post-apocalyptic shit going on with like the soldiers and stuff. What I kind of see it as is like, I do sort of think that, because it's weird, we got like explosions all down around our ears, and then we saw that big portly like looking character. So it seems to me like it probably initially was like soldiers versus the animals, like the monsters and stuff. And then like slowly, for whatever reason, or maybe it like starts to infect these people somehow. But like there are like bloated creatures that like start to get them into the military ranks there a little bit, like not secretly, but like, we saw them walking across the battlefield there. And then that's why like there's like explosions against one another. And it kind of seems like the military is almost like fighting itself, because like in a certain sense, it probably kind of is. Like if you've got like a battalion or whatever that's all infected, you're probably shooting at them and dropping bombs on them and stuff. So that's what I think about that. I think that they probably held out as best they could against the monsters, and then eventually they couldn't do that, and now they're infighting at that point. So anyway, that's been Reanimal. That's kind of what I think about the story. I don't know what's going on with like their deaths there with the shadow children and stuff. I kind of think, because they all talk about like, why are we still here and stuff, I kind of think that they, as part of like their little curse or whatever, they probably are like stuck in like where they have to keep living a little bit, like where if you die you just get like resurrected or whatever. So they just keep like resurrecting over and over. So it doesn't matter that he stepped on a landmine or that it was shot or hung or anything, the way that they treat children or whatever, they just like keep respawning. And if you want to consider that as like an excuse in universe that we keep respawning, then maybe you could do that too. But anyway, I've yapped for long enough. I hope you guys all enjoyed Reanimal. Hopefully I gave you like a story that's kind of like half worth digesting, a video that's half worth digesting about this game. Hopefully the studio like kind of makes it out of whatever tumultuous journey they're in after the not being able to work on Little Nightmares games anymore. I enjoyed this one. I don't know if they would ever make a sequel to it though. It feels like it's got like a story that's like self-contained that I liked a lot. So I don't know, but I felt the same way about Little Nightmares originally. So and then they've done what they've done with that. Not that I hate it or dislike it. I'm just saying that I thought it was going to be one game, and here they are with 3. So anyway, that's been Reanimal. I've kept you here long enough. Thanks for sticking around for the little post-game recap. I don't plan on making that a habit. Just Little Nightmares 3 and Reanimal. I will see you guys all next week. Later.